People honestly save 50% or more on their brand new air conditioning unit. It works, it's real, it's legit. That's newacunit.com.
newacunit.com.
Stop panic buying chocolates. This Valentine's Day, give her something she'll actually love. Welcome to the annual Valentine's Day sale at Mo Money Pawn Shop. From now until February 14th, get up to 50% off silver jewelry, 45% off diamond jewelry, which will save you hundreds from the mall stores. Need a last-minute miracle? We've got you covered. Gold jewelry at only $15 over melt value. Our amazing selection of handbags are 25% off. Don't wait. Make her heart skip a beat with Mo Money Pawn Shop in the heart of Phoenix at 12th Street and Indian School or momoneypawn.com.
KMVP FM Phoenix, live from the Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort Studio. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
I'm Sammy Sepulka with what's trending now, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. The Phoenix Suns avoided a fourth quarter collapse and got a 120-111 win against Cooper Flagg and the Dallas Mavericks last night. Dillon Brooks got things going with 15 first quarter points and led the Suns with 23 in the game. And Phoenix stopped their two-game losing streak, but right back at it tonight as the Oklahoma City Thunder roll into town, and they'll be without MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander tonight. Tip-off is at 7 right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. Baseball is back in our lives as the Diamondbacks returned to spring training yesterday. For storylines and updates, head to arizonasports.com today. The Sun Devils picked up a Big 12 win last night in their 85-76 win over Oklahoma State. Elsewhere in college basketball around the Valley, tonight GCU hosts New Mexico at 8 as they look to bounce back from their weekend loss. This report is brought to you by Parker & Sons. Call Parker & Sons for all your heating, plumbing, and electrical needs. Voted number 1 by consumers 15 years in a row. Parker & Sons, not your average Joe.
Good morning. Time to get up and go to work.
The power-packed morning zoo. Are you kidding me?
Fire. It's the greatest radio show ever.
Fire.
Good morning and welcome.
The world.
Dan Bickley.
When America needs real advice about real life, they turn to Dan
Vince Marotta.
And that's crushed. Deep right center field. And Vinny has a 2-home run, 6 RBI night in the first 4 innings.
Jared Carlin.
This is a ferret. That's a ferret. Ferret. That's a ferret.
And Sammy Sepulka.
Sammy, you're not going to sing for us, are you?
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Bickley and Marotta mornings.
Shout out to Dan Bickley, my boy, him and Mr. Vince. Okay.
Time to go to work. Time to go to work.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday, Valley sports fans. Wake up, everybody. We got a lot of weird stuff going on in the world today.
Oh, my goodness.
And a lot of it happens right here between these walls from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every day.
We're proud to contribute to the weirdness of society and everyday life.
Exactly. Weird item number 1, I don't know if you saw this, the El Paso airport has been shut down for the next 10 days for security reasons, and nobody knows why.
They won't say what the security reason
Nobody
is?
knows why. Shut down for the next 10 days.
I got a long weekend coming up, and there goes my plans.
Were you heading out to El Paso? Were you?
I thought it was a good time to finally visit El Paso.
One of my friends in college was from El Paso, and he was proud that the city, that his hometown was known as the sweatiest city in America.
Is that really what it's known as?
I guess at one point it was.
Yeah.
It's not all.
I mean, that can't be good. You're shutting down an airspace for 10 days for security reasons, right?
10 days?
Yeah,
That's a long
good.
time.
It is a long time.
I mean, I get frustrated when there's a road closure and I can't see anybody working on the actual road.
There is that.
Don't even get. How often do you actually drive by construction and actually see construction being done? Almost never.
Not often.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those pet peeves. Yeah, the amount of time that stuff just sits in roadways.
Good to be in a union.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah. The other crazy thing, I know that people were going nuts about the Ring commercial during the Super Bowl. The idea that, oh, wait a minute, we can all be under surveillance if everybody activates their Ring cameras from their home, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure people have been following the Nancy Guthrie case that's going on in Tucson.
Awful.
This idea that they were able to go back through Google Nest cameras and get footage that wasn't even allegedly logged, right? So the people who had these Google Nest cameras, Nancy Guthrie, who had those Google Nest cameras on her house, did not pay for the subscription to have it logged 24/7. So there was nothing allegedly she was paying for going into a cloud. And so people are like, how did they go back and get that footage? But they did.
It's still filming.
But they did.
That's how they found the guy with the mask?
Yes.
Is that not the creepiest thing ever?
Yes.
It's good when it's good.
And then all the AI comes involved, and bam, suddenly there's 100 leads.
People were pointing out with specifically that dog commercial that they're sort of appealing to the fact that nobody likes the idea of Big Brother watching you.
Right.
But everybody wants to be Big
Secure.
Brother.
Yeah.
Watching everybody else.
No, there's something to be said for that. That's kind of accurate.
They also pointed out that like 2 million dogs go missing a year, and if they're claiming they find one per day.
But people are saying that all that money spent tugging on those heartstrings backfired because everybody's takeaway was, ew, Big Brother. Get him out of my life. Look at this studio. There's cameras everywhere, Vinny.
I can't even pick my nose anymore.
Thank you. Yelda Froholt realized I cannot fulfill my dream of being a art thief because there's too many cameras in the world.
That's true. Can't be a crook anymore.
You get sick how hard it is.
They've made it so difficult.
Right, exactly. What's a guy to do? Start the show, Ferret, and button up that shirt, clown.
The Splash. The stories making waves in the sports world. The Splash.
Get him all coming.
The Splash, brought to you by Presidential Pools, Arizona's #1 pool builder. See why at presidentialpools.com.
Thank you for that last statement. I was feeling a little uncomfortable during our pre-show meeting.
Every day he's getting a little more risque.
Skin and fur showing.
This shirt is too big. It's one size too big, especially since I've slimmed down a bit.
It's also 8 styles
but
too
it's
wrong.
What a cool shirt, though. So I had to, especially now that I have pink pants.
The Suns.
How do you slim down and maintain your eating fixation?
Well, here's what
Are you taking that jab, Jarrett? Admit it.
So, no. What happened was, remember I went on this cruise like a year and a half ago, and afterwards I was the heaviest I've ever been. I was almost 200 pounds, and I was like, my cholesterol is high, and I needed to do something. So for like a few weeks, I really was eating healthy and less, and then I started exercising a lot more, and now I've reached a point where I could eat like I normally want to.
Wow, you got your metabolism backwards.
As long as I keep exercising, exactly, because I did not like eating less or better.
That was not worth interrupting you. Sorry about that, Vinny.
It's all right. Sammy, you got anything?
Doing well, thanks.
Suns hang on for a win over Flag and the Mavericks. Phoenix Suns got back in the win column. On Tuesday night, they outlasted the Mavs 120-111 at Mortgage Matchup Center. The Suns built a 31-point lead in the second quarter and then had to hang on for dear life as Dallas closed the gap with 2-6 with under 2 minutes remaining. And we'll get into the reasons why that gap was lessened. But Devin Booker responded with a jumper in the key to push the lead back up to 8 with 1:50 left. Restore order. Dylan Brooks led the way with 23 points, 17 in the first half. Booker had 19. Win number 32 on the season for the Suns, and they close out their pre-All-Star break schedule tonight with a visit from the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder, who played without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That game tips off at 7:10. You can hear all the action right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. Pregame coverage starts at 6. The Suns have been a very, very fun follow, a very good story. They play in a lot of weird basketball games, and maybe that's just par for the course in today's NBA. Weird for different reasons, and we'll get into the weirdness of last night coming up, but it was strange. Another LeBron streak comes to an end. LeBron James did not play for the Lakers last night against San Antonio. It was the 18th game he's missed this season. It was listed as foot arthritis. So he is now ineligible for postseason awards and all NBA teams due to the 65-game requirement. James had been named to an all-NBA team, either first, second, or third team for 21 straight years. The Lakers also played without Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, DeAndre Ayton, and Marcus Smart. They lost by 28 points, 136-108 to the Spurs. So I got a little early morning trivia for you. Okay?
All right, good.
The last time LeBron did not make an All-NBA first, second, or third team was his rookie season, 2003, 2004. Can you name the 5 members of the All-NBA first team that year? 2003, 2004.
I cannot.
Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd was one of them.
Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett was one of them.
Allen Iverson?
No. Good guess.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant was one of them.
Shaq?
Shaq was one.
Tim Duncan.
Absolutely.
Nice. Good
job,
Jared.
boys.
Good tag team.
Knocked it all out. The Devils get on the glass. They beat Oklahoma State. Bobby Hurley.
Looks like we figured out how to rebound.
Bobby Hurley's after his team's 85-78 win over the Cowboys in Tempe last night. Hurley had been frustrated by his team's rebounding recently, even said after a loss at Colorado on Saturday that at this point of the season, becoming a good rebounding team just isn't going to happen. But last night, the Devils crashed the glass, 19 offensive rebounds, leading to 24 second chance points in the victory. Masamba Diop had 17 to pace ASU. He had 6 on the offensive glass. Santiago Truitt, 16 points, 10 rebounds. ASU back to 500 on the year at 12-12. They're off until next Tuesday when they face nationally ranked Texas Tech in Tempe. GCU in action tonight. They're hosting the Lobos of New Mexico at Global Credit Union Arena, a game that tips after 8 o'clock. That game on FS1. Lopes head coach Bryce Drew will join us this morning at 9:15 for his weekly chat. The boys of summer report for spring, but it's still technically winter. Arizona Diamondbacks pitchers and catchers reported for spring training on Tuesday. We got day one updates on the returns, at least scheduled returns for 3 injured pitchers. Starter Corbin Burns told media that he'll be throwing bullpen sessions by the end of spring training and that his goal is to return to action by mid-July around the All-Star break. Lefty reliever A.J. Puck said he'll be back earlier than July. Puck did not have the full Tommy John surgery, but instead the elbow brace procedure done.
Yeah.
And reliever Justin Martinez targeting late August as his return date to
It's
the
a little
mound.
late, but I like the A.J. Puck news.
Yeah. Martinez also had Tommy John surgery last summer as well. And talk about a career dilemma. Would you rather, if you had your choice, spend about 8 months in Detroit or spend all of your time with a supermodel?
Good thing there's certain someone
The
can
classic
do both.
decision.
It's the classic. I mean, it's plagued all of us. But
Yeah.
Justin Verlander chose Detroit 10 days away from his 43rd birthday. He's going back to where it started. He signed a 1-year deal with the Tigers worth $13 million. He spent last year with the Giants. 4-11 record, 3.85 ERA, and 152 innings.
Isn't it amazing how there's this small subset of pitchers who can pitch to like 45 years of age, still deal and not deal with arm injuries, like that can expand a career that deep?
Yeah.
Max Scherzer comes to mind. Justin Verlander comes to mind.
The win-loss record wasn't good for Verlander last year, but 3.85 ERA and 152
You take that
innings,
everywhere.
you take- yeah, absolutely. But the Tigers, Tarek Skubal, Framber Valdez, and Justin Verlander.
Gotta like it, right?
Tigers Dodgers World Series.
And a couple
Dodgers
of
in
couple
4.
of guys in Tarek Skubal and Justin Verlander who said, "Yes, I want to be in Detroit."
Well, so did Valdez.
Well, that too.
Yeah. There you go. There's your splash on this Wednesday, February 11th. Coming up next, from a blowout to nearly blowing it, we'll talk about a weird Suns game next. It's Bickley and Murata Mornings, live from the Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort Studios of Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Phoenix Suns basketball.
Mark grabbing his 8th board to go with his 13 points. Here's Gillespie dribbling it into the forecourt. And the Suns win tonight. 120-111 the final score. They knock off the Mavericks and send them to their 8th consecutive loss. And they end their own 2-game losing streak to go back 10 games above 500 at 32-22.
Reaction to a Suns home win on the way. Plus a preview of Suns Thunder. Arizona Sports on YouTube, the app, ArizonaSports.com, and 98.7.
All right, so buying a new car is a really big deal, which is why you should have really high standards. You should want a great brand, a great experience, a really good price, and a vehicle you cannot wait to drive. That is what you'll get from my friends from Chapman BMW and a whole lot more. Chapman BMW, your premier destination for luxury and performance. They've got 2 great locations, which means you're going to get an extensive selection of new BMW models, certified pre-owned BMWs, and high-quality used cars. And as many of our listeners attest, they deliver an exceptional car buying experience. I've had a lot of listeners reach back and thank me for pointing them towards Chapman BMW. Every one of them raved about their experience. And once you become part of the Chapman family, their state-of-the-art service center is staffed by BMW certified technicians, which ensures your vehicle will receive expert care. Now, finally, remember, you got a friend in the business, you can get the hookup. My guy, Shane O'Hanrahan, GM of both locations, make sure you ask for him by name. He is going to hook you up. You can always shop online at ChapmanBMW.com. That's Chapman BMW. 2 great locations, 1 great experience.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just 1 shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed. Plus free premium delivery with any bed and base. Ends Monday. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Why choose Sanderson Ford? Because for over 70 years, Sanderson has been doing business the right way, putting the customer and our community first, offering online purchasing options, making maintenance a breeze with mobile service and pickup and delivery, prioritizing customer needs and affordability to provide the best deal, plus raising over $1 million annually for local charities. So, when you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, choose no hassle, no pressure, no nonsense. Choose Sanderson Ford.
Sanderson Ford.
Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Hey, it's Luke. Join us at 10 a.m. We'll be reacting to how the Suns dealt with Cooper Flagg and previewing their matchup with the defending champions tonight. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
Good morning on this Wednesday. A thank you and a tip of the cap to our audience taking the show in Chandler this morning. We appreciate the support in Chandler.
In between the circles, bounce to Booker at the top of the arc. He turns and faces Christie, drives into the free throw line. Pull-up jumper from there is good for D. Book. 18 points for him tonight. Suns take the 8-point lead, 117-109 with 1:45 to go.
Yeah, I mean, every night you take anything you can get, especially when you come out of it with a win, whatever it takes, even though, at times it just doesn't feel great. There was obviously a little regression in there of the shot differential. We knew that they would start making something at the rim, and we would cool off a little bit, but found a way down the stretch. Book got to his spots, got to the free throw line, and they got enough stops to win.
Yeah, it was Jordan Ott after the game. A win is a win. John Bloom with the call of a Devin Booker jumper that stretched that lead back to 8 with under 2 minutes to go. Suns do get the win, 120-111, win number 32. A game that looked like it was going to be one of those rare 48-minute cakewalks for an NBA team because the Suns played nearly flawless basketball for about the first.
And the Mavericks sucked out loud.
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
It was that combination, those two things lined up, and you see what can happen. A 31-point differential, and I thought Jordan Ott kind of said it well. You know it's going to, in most cases, it's going to even out a little bit. They're going to start making shots. I mean, the Mavericks came out. They missed their first 8 shots. They were in a hole from the very beginning.
I was wondering if they're going to get to 10 points by halftime, quite honestly.
Yeah, it was a rough watch for Mavericks fans early. But here was more from Jordan Ott. Great start. That finish, not so much.
Yeah, just overall, I thought our intent and our purpose early was pretty good on both ends. And then, it's just connected. You make shots. You're able to get your defense set. At times, we weren't able to make shots, and they were running out. They're elite in transition, elite getting to the rim. And then that's what hurt us. I think it got them back in the game.
Yeah, I think, for a situation like the Suns are in, we talked about this yesterday. Find a way to get back into the win column. They did that. And if you want to look for positives from this game, and there was plenty of positives, but the biggest one for me overall is that things did get tight. It did get tense. There was a little bit of nervousness in the arena last night because you see that big lead melt away for a number of different reasons, and they held it. They got that. I thought that shot from Booker with under 2 minutes to go was the sign to the rest of his team, we're not losing this game. There was some questionable shot selection. I didn't understand necessarily some of the substitution patterns last night. I didn't really get the Amir Coffey minutes last night because that's when things got really tight. And I'm not blaming it on Amir Coffey, but he's playing in his first game with a new team in a situation where it got tight. But overall, you'll take it, and you move on because tonight is going to be even tougher. Going into the All-Star break.
Who's not playing tonight for the Thunder?
I think it's just Shea and A.J. Mitchell.
Okay.
Jalen Williams, he played his first game back against the Lakers. They had a day off, so we'll see.
Okay.
He's still beaming. He's to get his number retired at Perry High School last night, so the whole team was out there. But that was also an interesting start for the Mavericks because they were well rested. I mean, you said that Mavericks were hanging out at the WM Phoenix Open
on Sunday.
Yeah,
they were in town on Saturday. They had Sunday off, and then they
Monday
played
off.
Yeah, and they played basketball on Tuesday.
So
yeah, but you know what? Here's what you learn from that: a rested team that sucks still sucks. Rested or not rested.
Yeah. And they're trying to find their way. They've got some new players that they're working in, and
they're basically in the tank. Not as bad as the Utah Jazz, but they're kind of in that mode now. Now that AD is gone, right.
Was Cooper Flagg? I know this was we've all watched him on TV before, and this was the first time the Suns got to see him live. Dude, I don't know about you guys, he is way better than I thought he was going to be in year one.
In what way?
In that I thought it would take at least a year to year and a half for him to have the type of NBA feel that he has.
The reason why I generally, guys like that, I say to myself, there's going to be a huge adjustment level. The thing about Cooper Flagg that I really believed in coming out of college was just his burn rate, the way he burns to play the game. There's no fear in him at all.
No, that really came out in the NCAA tournament last year. It really came out when Duke went to the Final Four. As far as last night, I mean, you look at the line, 27 points.
It's okay, yeah.
Exactly the phrase I was going to use. I thought he was okay last night. He had the highlight dunk.
He had that nice up and under layup in the first quarter.
But I don't think he took over the game at any stretch.
No, I don't think so either.
He's 19. He should be a freshman in college right now. He reclassified. He's going to be great.
Yeah, listen, I've got mixed feelings about why that game began to get kind of close near the end because that thing should have been in the icebox a long time prior. And again, this is the regular season. This is the style points at this point really are irrelevant. They got the victory. You're going into All-Star break. It's all just kind of like careening towards that. But what bothers me is that when these teams make runs on the Suns late, we've seen this issue where the offense really bogs down, and mainly because of Dillon Brooks, let's be quite honest. he gets the ball in these big situations in the fourth quarter. He doesn't want to give it up. And this is obviously a pattern. One of the good things about having Devin Booker back was last night in the fourth quarter on a couple of occasions, the ball got to him, and either he saw the double team going and he got rid of it, or as you pointed out, like that shot he made with 150 left, which was one of a few kind of semi-big plays that had to be made to keep the Mavericks.
The very calming shot, right?
Kind of, yeah.
The other big deal about them blowing that lead, obviously they still won. That's the most important thing. But if there ever was a night to be able to sit all your starters in the fourth quarter, when you have Jalen Green and Devin Booker just coming back and it's the first night of a back-to-back, that's when you're hoping that it can just be a blowout the whole game.
True. Although I don't think anybody played a really, really taxing number of minutes. I mean, Booker played the most minutes in the game at 32. That's a really manageable number, especially for a game that ended up being a 9-point game. There was that. I going back to the Dylan Brooks thing, and we can elaborate on this a little bit later on, but it was another Dylan Brooks first half performance. I thought he was masterful in the first half and helping build that lead. He was just on fire. But then he hits those ruts in the second half and was taking a lot of shots down the stretch when things started to tighten up. He talked about that. Being cold, continuing to shoot, not moving the ball.
I work every day, so, shots are going to fall, shots are going to miss, but you keep the same head and keep shooting. If I wasn't working this hard, I might have not taken none of those shots and passed it, but, I'm in the gym.
Yeah, it's getting to the point now where it's really fun to watch him operate when the shots are falling. And then late in the game, you're wondering, why does he continue to shoot?
Yeah.
And that's been a pretty regular thing.
Yeah. And listen, and for any Suns fans, listen, you've got to be able to have honest conversations about the guys. And clearly Dylan Brooks has had a incredible season. He's still the team MVP, in my opinion. And I get why he feels the way he's getting. He is having a breakout season unlike any he's had in the NBA, and he wants to keep it going. He wants to push this whole thing. He wants to be the endgame Michael Jordan for the team. I get all that. But you got to keep the ball moving.
And there was a couple of late possessions where it didn't move very well. But the Suns get the win. OKC in town tonight. As a thank you for your support of Arizona Sports 98.7 and Sun Devil Athletics, we are inviting you to the men's basketball games on February 17th against Texas Tech and February 28th against Utah. Use code 987 to unlock the exclusive discount. Head on over to the contest page at arizonasports.com. and get the full information. Coming up next, D-back season just around the corner, and as we get closer, Torey Lavello wants a closer. We'll get into that and more next. It's Bickley and Murata Mornings here on this Wednesday. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
The Cardinal decision on a head coach has been made. As Coach LaFleur puts his staff together, the next Cardinal decision is coming due.
There is no sure thing that Kyler's out. During those interviews with those coaches, and I talked to several different candidates who met with the Cardinals, they asked the Kyler question, and from what I gather, Mike LaFleur is not shutting the door on bringing Kyler back.
What's next for Kyler Murray as Cardinals QB1? Keep up with the next Cardinal decision at Arizona Sports on YouTube, the Arizona Sports app, arizonasports.com, and 98.7.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here for Advanced Window Products. Not that long ago, I literally had an electric bill of $666, talked about it on the radio, thought it was a sign of the devil, proof that summers in Arizona are literally like living in hell. Truth is, my windows were shot, and if you've been living in your home around 15 years, chances are you need new windows as well. I highly recommend my friends at Advanced Window Products, a local window and door manufacturing company that sells directly to the public. There are no middleman markups. They are celebrating their 40th anniversary in business. They've got their own factory right here in the valley, which means they'll build your windows, they'll install your windows, then they'll guarantee them for life, and that warranty is transferable if you ever sell your home, and there are great financing options currently available. And right now, during their February sale, you'll get $2,500 off the purchase of 10 or more windows. If you need fewer than 10 windows, no worries. They will prorate that discount for whatever you need. I took advantage of this exact exact same offer. I couldn't be more impressed with the finished product from installation to cleanup. It was outstanding. If you are interested, text me, send me an email. I'll send you pictures of their finished product. You can see how good their work is. Give them a call. Tell them I sent you. 480-764-2110. Online at advancedwindows.com.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract. After 150,000 procedures, our team has the experience to tell you if it's your right time for K2 Vision RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consult now at k2visionrle.com and enjoy life with no readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Hey, it's Gambo, and I'm with Stuart Willis, the president of Asset Preservation, Wealth, and Tax. Stuart, there's all these different phases to save in your life, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. But when you get close to retirement age, isn't it wiser to start to make sure that you're more conservative with your money instead of more aggressive?
First of all, it all depends on your comfort level with risk. You don't want to mess up your retirement. You see the finish line is close and you want to be done. Most people know this. People who want to be rich buy stocks. People who are already rich buy fixed income, which is why you've moved to a more conservative approach personally.
Yes, because it's important for me to make sure I protect the money I've been able to save so far.
That's why it's important to know exactly what your comfort level with risk is.
So if you want a financial advisor that can work with you and help you with the risk management, call Stuart Willis at Asset Preservation, Wealth, and Tax at 602-877-PLAN for a free portfolio review.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor.
Hi, I'm Lacey, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. And yes, I'm actually a jeweler. I bring dream engagement rings to life every day in our jeweler workshop. When I hand set your diamond into your ring, I think about creating a piece you'll wear for a lifetime. I pay attention to the smallest details and treat every ring with the same care and craftsmanship, no matter the size or price. Come see us in store. Shane Company engagement rings are crafted with care from our hands to yours, because a friend knows your love deserves the highest quality. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
I'm Sammy Sepulka with what's trending now, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. The Phoenix Suns held off a late-game scare to get a 120-111 win over Cooper Flagg and the Mavs. And here was Devin Booker on what went right early and wrong late.
I'd say just getting stops, playing fast, and getting a lot of threes up. Second half, they're getting to the free throw line a lot, getting out in transition, and drawing a lot of fouls.
The Suns are right back at it tonight against the NBA's best OKC Thunder, who recently got Jalen Williams back and healthy, but will be missing SGA tonight as Suns Thunder tip at 7 in the last game before the All-Star break. And you can hear that right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. Zach Gallen movement, pitchers and catchers, health updates, and more coming from day one of spring training for the Diamondbacks. For more, head over to ArizonaSports.com. The Sun Devils picked up a much-needed win at home last night, 85-76 over Oklahoma State. And the Lopes of GCU are in action tonight against New Mexico in what should be a good Mountain West showdown. That one will start at 8 tonight. This report is brought to you by Rito's Mexican Food. Family-owned since 1977, bringing you award-winning Mexican flavor and a great happy hour every day from 2 to 6. Hungry yet? Text Rito's to 620-620 for exclusive offers.
Arizona Sports.
Swung on that is hit high and deep.
Bickley and Murata talk spring training now.
No opening day starter. I'm sure if things stay the same, I'm sure you could probably figure out the right name that I'm thinking about. But as far as a closer, I know that's always a big question that's asked throughout the spring, and it's known because I've said it to you, I've said it to Mike, and inside of my office, like I work the game backwards. I go from the ninth inning and start piecing it together backwards, and I know some of the moves I make don't work out, but I feel like I have a strategy in the third inning how the fifth inning is going to happen, and in the fifth inning how the ninth inning is going to happen. So I'm projecting the game in advance, and it's just nice to know that you have somebody that can lock down the ninth inning. So they know that, and I think Mike maybe he's even made comments that he knows that's important to me. So I appreciate that. Where that goes and how we take that, I'm not sure. But it would be nice to have a closer because that's just how my mind works right now.
Torey Lovullo, manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Day one, pitchers and catchers reporting out to Salt River Fields yesterday, and already questions about the pitching staff.
If you didn't know any better, that would almost sound like the manager finally saying, "Hey, listen, I've kept my mouth shut for 7 years. Can you give me a closer?
Come on already."
I love cryptic Torey.
Well,
I
maybe
think
this
you might
is
know
new
who
Torey.
I'm thinking
no,
of.
Again, we know Torey is vowed to be a little more tyrannical Torey. I'm kidding, of course, but we do know, at least we hope, he is going to be a lot more on these guys in terms of locking in. Not at the end of the month, not at the end of the Cactus League, right now.
Yeah, Mike Hazen, the general manager of the Diamondbacks, and maybe that was a little message to the general manager. We don't know, but he was asked the same question. Who is the closer?
I'll let Torey kind of talk through more of how we're going to deploy. We're still out in the marketplace looking to enhance our bullpen any way that we can. I know that he's going to probably want to have a closer by the end of spring training. We've kind of said that seems to be when we've had our best runs from a bullpen standpoint, so I'm sure that's still going to hold true.
Yeah, and of the guys that are available, A, and B, healthy, who makes the most sense? Because I think there's a level of trust.
Cade Stroud or Brandon Garcia? If you're talking about newcomers,
not
Ryan Thompson.
The Gink?
He's got to prove he's back first.
If the Gink has a good spring
he
training.
He told you he was
back.
back.
And listen, I don't doubt a word that man says. The conviction that man speaks with, it's like a grizzly bear talking to you.
I mean,
you just nod your head and say yes.
You're the same person that was once told by Chris Johnson, "I'm fine." So maybe professional athletes are just comfortable lying
Athletes
to you.
have a long and rich history of knowing they cannot obfuscate around me. They cannot tell mistruths around me.
So from that standpoint,
wasn't Chris Johnson out like 6 hours later?
Yeah, not even. It was, I think, long enough for you to get the post out. Chris, you gonna be okay? Oh, I'm fine.
I'm fine, man. I'm fine.
Chris Johnson out forever.
Chris Johnson says he's fine.
You'll never walk normal again.
That's right.
So that's one of the questions, obviously, is if Torey's saying it and Mike Hazen is referencing it, that this is the desire to have a closer locked down by the end of spring training, something to look for starting next Friday when the Cactus League schedule starts. And there are some interesting names. You mentioned a couple of them, Brandon Garcia, Cade Stroud coming over in the trade from Baltimore, didn't have really closing experience, but put up great numbers. Kevin Ginkel is obviously somebody they've leaned on for late inning situations in the past. There's Juan Burgos. I mean, there's a lot of different guys. Talk about open competition, but I'm also curious to see if Mike Hazen follows up on what he said. We're always in the market to improve the bullpen. And if there's guys out there, and we know there's starting pitchers out there, if the bullpen guys are out there, we'll see how aggressive he's allowed to be.
And so just to make clear, I think I know the answers, but bringing in a more reliable closer is higher on your list than maybe bringing back Zach Gallen, correct?
I'm torn on that.
I'd rather have Zach Gallen, but because you are eventually going to
wouldn't. No. If
they're not going to get an ace closer at this point in the offseason.
That wasn't the question. He just said a high-end closer or Zach Gallen. But you're right. There's nobody left on the market.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, who was it? Puck that said he'd be back in May. That's the right?
Yeah.
That's probably a good scenario. I mean, so can you survive 6 weeks, and then maybe Puck steps in as the closer?
But are you plugging
AJ
Puck right back in as the closer in high leverage situations without any real. I mean, we don't know. He'll probably go on a rehab minor league assignment.
Yeah.
But that's a lot to ask a guy coming back from that surgery.
I don't know why, but there was a spate of stories in the last 15 to 20 hours that the market is finally heating up for Zach Gallen. And that's from Bob Nightingale. It's from other base. I don't know why now.
Because pitchers and catchers are reporting.
I guess that's probably why.
It's like now or never.
I think you're getting pressure from those pitchers like Zach Gallen that are on the market. You know they have to be pressuring their agents.
Yeah,
because you don't.
Yeah,
the Diamondbacks are a perfect example because it was considered a coup to get Jordan Montgomery a week and a half into spring training. And what did Jordan Montgomery do? He bitched and moaned about not having spring training normal, and that he couldn't pitch because of it.
Yeah,
basically.
Right.
No pitcher wants to go through that. Now they can
That's a good
work.
point.
They can work on their own, but it's not quite the same as we know.
Yeah.
And now the clock is ticking. Now you see guys going to work, and you're on the outside looking in. It's not a good place to be.
That's a good point. If you're a pitcher and you're at home right now, you got the heebie-jeebies. You know you should be in camp someplace. That's a very, very good point. So yeah, and again, I think that's part of the issue here is not only were there not a lot of high-end potential closers on the market to begin with, and now they're gone.
Yeah.
But you've got guys coming in the back end. How much do you spend? Who do you spend for? But I do think that Torey Lovello in his own way kind of made it very clear yesterday, like, I'd really like this to happen. You know, bullpen by committee and closer by committee, not a strategy.
Yeah,
it's a desperation.
The Diamondbacks already started camp with bad news on the bullpen. Andrew Saalfrank out for the year. Here's Torey Lovello on the impact of losing Saalfrank.
First of all, I talked to Andrew yesterday, and he's very encouraged by how the surgery went. He was feeling a little bit sore, and glad that the worst part of this ordeal is over. Now it's time for him to heal, and he's going to step away for a year. He's already walked through something like this, and much like I asked the other injured players, don't let this game get too far away from you. Be around, stay around, and get involved, and he will be here. But he became somebody that was a leverage piece in that back end of the bullpen. He came in and got big outs. There was weak contact. There was swing and miss. A lot of the things you're looking for from back end guys. And I just appreciated what he did last year. I knew he wasn't 100%. This was something that had been lingering since last year. So we're going to miss him. He's going to step away, but I told him to make sure that he's ready when he steps back in the arena in 13 months.
Yeah, I'm going to give you that is a blow. There's no doubt about it because he was good. But then you wonder, too, when you hear Torey Lovello say, hey, this was something that was lingering from last year, wonder about the timing of the surgery. It's a fair question to ask.
I think Mike Hazen kind of answered that. I think that they probably got to the pre-spring training workout programs and stuff, and he probably felt, Yeah. And Mike Hazen said his arm wasn't going to make it through the end of the season. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think in a perfect world, they might have been able to diagnose this right at the end of last year.
But probably still would have missed substantial time had he had the surgery. I'm going to give you one X-factor name in the bullpen.
All right.
A guy who has performed well when he's had the chance, but hasn't had much of a chance because of injuries. Dre Jameson.
Yes.
That's my X-factor guy.
I like that.
Yeah. He's only pitched in 3 innings of Major League Baseball since 2023. So apparently he's healthy, ready to go. We'll see.
Okay.
Coming up next here on the Wednesday edition of Bickley and Murata Mornings, a few days in, already a huge cheating scandal in the Olympics. No, not that kind. We'll tell you more about it next. It's Bickley and Murata Mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2.
The three-point contest, I'm all in on every year anyway, and now Devin Booker is going back to try and win it for the second time this next weekend.
Okay, it just seems a little odd, doesn't it? It's going to strike you guys as well. He's having the worst year of his career from the three-point line, and now all of a sudden he's going to be in the three-point contest.
Maybe this will get him
love
right.
the fact that Book said yes, right?
Yeah.
He's agreeing to do it. I love that.
Maybe going out there and just firing up a bunch of threes on All-Star Weekend.
I know.
All of a sudden he'll come back and just start hitting what he usually does.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
All right, let's talk about something a lot of people deal with, but nobody wants to talk about, nobody wants to admit it, and that is struggling with private student loan debt. When you are struggling with it, it feels like a weight that you're dragging around everywhere you go. But if that's your situation, you don't have to keep dragging that weight thanks to YRefi. Hi, it's Vince Marotta, and Why Refi works specifically with people who are struggling with distressed or defaulted private student loan debt. Why Refi helps you refinance into a low fixed rate payment that fits your actual budget, not a fantasy one, your actual real one. And they do it without judgment. They're not going to question or lecture you. They're just here to help you start fresh. I've talked to people and known people who have been in this situation before, felt like they had no options left, and then Why Refi steps in and gives them a real path forward. And when you're going through that situation, there's something very powerful about knowing someone is actually willing to work with you. You can't change what happened, but you can absolutely change what happens next with your private student loan debt. Call Why Refi at 888-WHY-REFI-85 or visit whyrefi.com. That's the letter Y, REFY.com.
Hey, it's Wolf, and you've been hearing about the big President's Day sales event at Tim Hovig's Santan Ford, but this weekend there's a whole lot of extra muscle behind it. Landings Credit Union is on site for 4 days only with special low interest rates. Their goal, 100% credit approval. Every vehicle in stock is priced just 1 cent over invoice. It's all happening Friday, February 13th through Monday, February 16th at Tim Hovig's Santan Ford. Head on over to the Santan 202 freeway in Val Vista Drive in Gilbert. A few restrictions do apply.
Gleason Roofing. Jim Sharp here to tell you about my friends at Gleason Roofing. Yeah, my friends. A friendship that started with the great honest work they did at my house. Gleason Roofing's been protecting Valley homes and businesses for 20 plus years. They know Arizona roofs, materials, and our weather inside and out. Make Gleason Roofing your friends by inviting them over for a free, honest roof audit. It involves no scare tactics or pressure, just a clear, professional assessment of what's actually going on up there and what doesn't need fixing. Gleason Roofing is one of a very small percentage of roofers nationwide named a GAF Master Elite contractor, meaning Gleason has top-tier installation standards, ongoing training, and access to the best warranties in the industry. This is the best time to replace a roof. Cooler temps mean faster installs, and you're getting ahead of spring storms and summer monsoons. Get your no-obligation roof audit right now by going to GleasonRoofing.com. GleasonRoofing.com. Gleason Roofing, there's a reason people choose Gleason.
No payments until fall at Desert Wind Harley on any new Harley this week only. Desert Wind Harley has access to the country's largest Harley inventory with truckloads delivering every week. Desert Wind Harley has secured no payments until fall. Finance specialists are on site to help get you approved. Annual percentage rates such as 2.5% and no payments until fall on any new Harley at Desert Wind Harley now through Sunday. No payments for 120 days with approved credit.
Winter is in full swing, and Aleve is here to keep you moving. When the cold weather sets in, everyday aches and pains can linger, but Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, Aleve keeps you going with long-lasting body pain relief to get you through whatever the season brings. Chilly days or cozy nights, Aleve gives you that long-lasting body pain relief you can count on this winter. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No. We'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Hey everybody, it's Burns. The pitchers and catchers have arrived for the Arizona Diamondbacks. So who are some of the guys we're keeping a close eye on this spring? The Burns and Gambo Show starts at 2 on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and Arizona Sports on YouTube.
Oh, this theme song gets your blood pumping.
Let me say this, as somebody who has been blessed to cover Olympic Games all over the country. You know, you've done radio shows with me when I've been calling in from Rio or wherever this place was. A few years ago, high def and the underwater swimming camera kind of changed the game for the Olympics, kind of made them very, very enjoyable from a TV standpoint, right?
Yeah.
Seeing these incredible landscapes and sportscapes and high def and the underwater cameras. Now the drone has reinvented Olympic television. So when you're saying the Olympics are droning on, that is not necessarily a bad thing. You've got drones going 80 miles an hour following skiers down a mountain.
Yeah, it's crazy. First of all, it's crazy when you see that the speedometer clocking the athlete going down the hill on these skis, and I mean, just crazy stuff.
I'm waiting for one of those drones who's following a skier to kind of veer off to the forest and then to see some guy running away from a bear, like you do on social media. That AI garbage, right? A drone just happens to see some dude sprinting out of a forest away from a grizzly. All right, Vinny, take it away.
But one of the things I'm not the biggest Olympic fan. Certainly not Winter Olympics. I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona. Wasn't exposed to a lot of winter sports in my childhood, so it just doesn't resonate with me. At least the Summer Olympics, you played a lot of those things. You tried a lot of those things.
I have.
But one of the things I love about the Summer and Winter Olympics is the stories that come out about athletes who become big international phenomenons for different reasons. I mean, 2 years ago during the Summer Olympics, we were talking about the guy, remember the shooter? The casual shooter.
Hand in the right hand of the pocket. Just kind of doing glasses, the James Bond villain thing.
No earplugs, nothing.
Right, nothing.
He became a phenomenon. So you get
the
stories like
the pommel horse guy.
The pommel horse guy, the break dancer.
Ray gun.
The ray gun, the break dancer.
The pole vaulter
so
with the
we've got
huge schwanz.
We got our first one of them.
With the what?
The what?
With the what?
That's an Olympic term.
What language is that?
It's Yiddish.
We've got our first one of this Winter Olympics. Sturla Holm Lagrade, a Norwegian biathlete. Now, what is a biathlete? It's a really strange sport for those who are not into. I've always thought it was weird. It's cross-country skiing and rifle shooting. So this is a guy, and you don't get to this level of the Olympics regardless
Quite a combination,
of what you're,
by the way.
Yeah, what you're doing without lifelong commitment and diligence and all of those things. You work your whole life to get there. He wins a bronze medal. He's doing a post-race, post-medal winning interview with his native Norwegian press. And he
right on the snow.
Like on the snow, like his cheeks are rosy, his nose is running. I mean, this is fresh from the event. And he says, I wanted to share this moment with somebody who might not be watching today. And he tells the story. He explains that he met the, quote, love of his life 6 months ago. But 3 months ago, he cheated on her. And he just couldn't live with it anymore. So a week before the Olympics, Sturla Holm Lagrade tells his girlfriend, I cheated on her. I told her a week ago, and it's been the worst week of my life. I had a gold medal in life, and there's probably a lot of people out there who look at me differently now, but I only have eyes for her. Sports has taken a bit of a backseat these past couple of days. Yeah, I wish I could share this with her.
All right, so
the international reaction has been overwhelming.
All right, yeah, including people who said, well, wait, he's a biathlete. Doesn't that mean he's in an open relationship? No, that's not what biathlete means. So Homie wins a bronze, and so if you extrapolate his feelings, he's probably thinking a couple of things. Number one, okay, this is the peak of my athletic life. So if ever I'm going to get back in the good graces with this woman who is now scorning me, this is the time to do it because I just won a medal. And so, but I'm going to use this forum now to express how much you mean to me. So I'm going to sort of expose myself in the most vulnerable of ways, right?
Yes.
And people caught up with the girl, and she's not necessarily buying it. She hasn't not bought it, but it doesn't sound like she's buying it.
Yeah, but there was even more from the admission when he said, and I wish I had the audio, but the original interview was done in his native tongue. But he said, I'm not ready to give up. I hope that committing social suicide like this might show her how much I love her. I accept the consequences of what I done. I regret it with all my heart. Maybe I'm dumb as a rock. I'm a member of Mensa, but I still do stupid stuff. Humble brag.
Yeah, how about that, right?
So there was a follow-up that was in English because this story went everywhere. So Sturla Holm Lagrade was asked, hey, this girlfriend who you're not able to share this with, who might not be watching. Any reaction yet?
Yeah, I haven't got any reactions from the girl that I mentioned. And yeah, I'm happy because then maybe she hasn't seen it. Maybe she will see it at the right time. I hope I don't make anything worse for her. But maybe it can help. I don't know. I hope there is a happy ending in the end. So we will see what time will do.
I have so many questions about this guy.
Yeah, well, listen. So this guy thought he was doing something noble. He thought he was doing something redemptive.
Yes.
Right?
Like, this is the biggest moment of my life, and it's incomplete because of what I've done.
And I'm going to take this moment where I'm on top of the world and tell everybody what I'm an idiot, or how much of an idiot I am by putting myself in subjugation to this female who I absolutely adore. Will it work? I don't know whether it's going to work, but this thing went so bad for this guy afterwards that his team federation pulled him into a room and said, "What, are you an idiot?" And the guy said, "Well, of course I'm an idiot. I just told the media." "No, you're an idiot because you got a teammate who won the gold and no one's talking about him."
Wow.
So he had to come back out and apologize for what he did on behalf of the federation because it overshadowed everything.
Meanwhile, the gold medal winner from his own country is like, "Hey, over here, I killed a guy."
Right.
Oops.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, think about that. I mean, this is by far the biggest moment of these guys' life. It's not like there's a lot of, professional biathlete leagues of cross-country skiing and shooting.
Yeah, there's not a lot of businesses who say, "Here's what we need from you. We need you to be able to cross-country ski 30 to 40 miles or kilometers and shoot a rifle." It's not a skill set that travels into the professional world.
One of the stand-ups said how odd a sport it is. It'd be like running a 100-meter dash and then strangling a guy as part of But
no, it's kind of like the dudes who box around, then sit down and play chess against each other.
Yeah,
and you're trying to figure out pawn to rook right while you're concussed.
The difference is this is an Olympic event.
That's right.
The other thing, this is only someone he knew for 3 months before he cheated on her.
It's the love of his life, too.
This is not like his wife of 20 years that he made this one mistake
I
and he's
can't
trying to
believe
win
I
her
did
back.
this to my wife and kids.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, if
he's
you're
an Olympic athlete. What did Chris Rock say about a man?
Yeah.
Being only as good as what, Vinny?
His options.
His options.
Only as faithful as his options.
That Olympic Village.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
And Jared's on it.
Adam Sandler had a line in Funny People that was along the same lines as what Chris Rock said, but it's also not clean for radio. But if you've seen the movie, you know, and if you haven't seen the movie, I'll tell you what the line is off the air.
And that sound Jared made it's a profound sound because we all know those beds have no mattresses, so there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of.
Yeah, I'm sure Sterla, being in the Olympic Village with a bronze medal, he's probably finding ways to drown his sorrows.
Sorrow.
Weird one at Mortgage Matchup Center last night. Suns come out on top. We'll get more through Vinny's view next. Bickley and Murata mornings here on this Wednesday. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Join Arizona Sports. April 11th, 2-mile run walk finishes on the 42-yard line at Mountain America Stadium, home of the ASU Sun Devils. Bring the whole family. Kids can take part in the 0.42-mile Kids Run, presented by Shields and Phoenix Children's Hospital. Honor Pat Tillman's legacy and help support the Tillman scholars who carry it forward. After the run, it's the Tillman Tailgate, presented by Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Enjoy live music, food trucks, and vendor activations outside the stadium. Learn more and sign up today at patsrun.org.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here for Trajan Wealth, and if you've been grinding in your profession for a while, you all know the anxiety that comes with the big question, the one we all ask at a certain point in our lives. Do I have enough money to retire? Will my money last? Will I end up having to take a job in retirement to supplement my income? Am I missing something? If that anxiety sounds familiar, highly recommend you schedule a free appointment with my friends at Trajan Wealth, because if you're like most people, you probably don't have the peace of mind you need or you really want, because it's one thing to save for retirement. It's another thing to know you are totally prepared, and that peace of mind is what you'll get from my friends at Trajan Wealth. Remember, they're veteran-owned, they're locally operated, plus they're fiduciaries, which means they're duty-bound by their profession to act in your best interests at all times. They'll review your current portfolio, see if there are any huge gaps. They will give you personalized strategies, tailor-made plans built around your needs, your desires, and how you want to spend your retirement. At Trajan Wealth, it all begins with relationships, so get your plan started today. 480-360-7900, online at TrajanWealth.com. That's TRAJAN Wealth.com.
Why choose Sanderson Ford? Because for over 70 years, Sanderson has been doing business the right way, putting the customer and our community first, offering online purchasing options, making maintenance a breeze with mobile service and pickup and delivery, prioritizing customer needs and affordability to provide the best deal, plus raising over $1 million annually for local charities. So, when you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, choose no hassle, no pressure, no nonsense. Choose Sanderson Ford.
Sanderson Ford.
I used to think the draft in my living room was just part of living in an older house. Turns out, I was paying the utility company for air leaking straight out my windows. I'm Becky Lynn, and if that sounds familiar, might be time to replace your windows and doors. Call my friends at Arizona Window and Door Store. Over 1,400 5-star reviews and their exclusive seal and shield installation process. Book your free consultation at azwds.com or call 480-562-3902. Again, book online at azwds.com.
A great haircut every time in a barbershop that will make you feel young again. That's V's Barbershop. Dave Burns here. And for Jimmy V, the founder of V's, that was his mission. Hire the very best barbers in town and create that old-fashioned vibe that you experienced as a kid. You open the door to V's, and it's a wave of nostalgia. And when you leave, you have a haircut to be proud of from a barber that you trust. The next time you're thinking about where to go to get your haircut, don't think about it. Go to vbarbershop.com and book your appointment today at V's.
This President's Day, if you're shopping for a new truck, SUV, electric vehicle, or crossover, you owe it to yourself to check out your Valley Chevy dealers during the President's Day sales event. Drive yours away this President's Day. Live life bigger in a Traverse or the roomy and dependable Trax, where versatility meets agility, or the Silverado or Colorado trucks that fit your lifestyle. Don't miss out on the chance to drive yours away this President's Day. See your Valley Chevy dealers during the President's Day sales event going on now.
Oh, here's the secret to a fast, smooth move in Phoenix and the East Valley. Moving Team 6. They know the city and all of Arizona inside and out, which means smoother routes, faster moves, and less stress. Their brand new Mesa facility serves the East Valley with the same trusted services, local or long-distance moves, residential or commercial, professional packing, and secure climate-controlled storage. I also love how they support veterans, giving them real jobs and proper training. Every crew member is a full-time, experienced, and ready to get the job done right, licensed, insured, and fully equipped dude. When they move you, it's clear. They take pride in their work, efficient, professional, on time, and careful with every belonging. They don't consider the job done until it's done right. Over 25,000 moves completed, 15-plus years in business, and still family-owned and operated. For a stress-free move you can trust, go to MovingTeam6.com. That's MovingTeam6.com.
Low T, start for free. That's right, get prescription testosterone therapy with no startup fee, only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Paul Calvisi here. You have more energy, stamina to help you lose belly fat. You also think better, sleep better. Your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. So skip the gimmicks and get prescription strength testosterone. It's a game changer. Book your convenient online appointment today at redmountainweightloss.com. That's redmountainweightloss.com.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Live from the Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort Studio.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
I'm Sammy Sepulka with What's Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. The Phoenix Suns avoided a fourth-quarter collapse and got a 120-111 win against Cooper Flagg and the Dallas Mavericks last night. Dylan Brooks got things going with 15 first-quarter points and led the Suns with 23 in the game, and Phoenix stopped their two-game losing streak. But right back at it tonight as the Oklahoma City Thunder roll into town, but they'll be without MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander tonight. Tip-off is at 7 here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. The Sun Devils picked up a Big 12 win last night in their 85-76 win over Oklahoma State. Elsewhere in college basketball in the Valley tonight, GCU hosts New Mexico at 8 as they look to bounce back from their weekend loss. This report is brought to you by Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. Rev up the romance this February at Casino Arizona for your chance to win a 2026 Corvette Stingray. Earn entries February 1st through the 25th. The details are at CasinoArizona.com.
That boy is good. It's Vinny's View on the home of the Suns, Arizona Sports.
Phoenix Suns got back in the win column with a 120-111 triumph over the Dallas Mavericks on Tuesday night in downtown Phoenix. A win is a win. The Suns, who had a bit of a rough patch recently, needed that W in the worst way, especially with a visit from the defending league champion and owners of the best record in the league looming. But it has to be one of the least satisfying, most frustrating wins in recent memory. The Suns played outstanding basketball on both ends in building a 31-point lead in the second quarter. Dillon Brooks hit a 15-foot jumper to put the Suns up by their largest margin. Then the game changed, or at least the way the game was officiated did. For the remaining 4+ minutes of the quarter, Dallas was able to trim 14 points off the Phoenix lead. They shot 8 free throws to the Suns' 2 in that span. In the third quarter, Dallas took 15 free throws. The Suns took 1. In the fourth, as the Mavericks got the lead down to 6, they shot 11 more free throws. Phoenix attempted 6. For the game, Dallas had 44 attempts at the stripe. The Suns had 9. It's the biggest free throw differential in an NBA game since the league halted operations in March of 2020 for a global pandemic. Suns fans at Mortgage Matchup Center groan or flat out boo when they hear the name Scott Foster announced as the night's crew chief. I'm wondering when that becomes the reaction when Suns faithful hear the name Tyler Ford in the pregame lead-up. Ford was the crew chief earlier this season in the Lakers' messy win over the Suns that featured LeBron James making contact with an official not once, but twice during a scrap, and nothing happened. The Lakers, who had 18 more free throws than the Suns that night, won by 2. Ford normally spends more time looking at the replay monitor than a 16-year-old girl spends looking at her Instagram feed, and that wasn't the case on Tuesday. But weird whistle trends just seem to follow Ford around, especially when he's in the Valley. That is today's edition of Vinny's View.
The free throw differential, I think it's 44-9, if I'm looking at that correctly.
You had to blink?
What you make of that?
You had to squint?
I had a little bit because I just was making sure.
Yeah, I had to make sure. I mean, we saw it the whole night. Everyone in the arena felt it. I mean, if that's stoppage of play and then go play against, it's like they're all connected. The game of basketball, you don't get to blow the whistle and sub units out, quite like football or stop plays. It's all connected. So they get downhill, they get to the free throw line. We got to play against a set defense. It makes it harder to score. Then they're able to get in transition, get to the free throw line. It was frustrating for everyone. I don't think anyone that was watching that was probably too happy that they spent the time watching all those whistles. So, I don't know. We'll take a look, just like everyone else hopefully does.
Yeah, Jordan Ott on another weird win for the Suns. And at one point of the game, Bick, he was exasperated, not demonstrative, not yelling and screaming, had his arms folded, was very calm, and was walking towards midcourt. And he just said to an official during another trip to the free throw line for Dallas, he just said, I read his lips, I've never seen anything like this before. And it was obviously a big talk of discussion. It also involved Dillon Brooks getting another technical foul. The Suns got the win. And I want to get to the point, and I said this after the Philadelphia game because we mentioned the officiating, and Dillon Brooks had comments about the officiating in that game. And what did we say yesterday? Suns need to move past that and rise above and find a way to win. And they did. They found a way to win. And I'm only going to go down this road when I think it's egregious. And I thought last night's game was the worst officiated game I think I've ever seen. A crew of 3 NBA officials with a straight face will tell you that in 48 minutes of basketball, the Dallas Mavericks committed 5 defensive fouls, and the Phoenix Suns committed 27 of them.
Okay, Phoenix Suns play a uber aggressive style of defense, very handsy. They're very physical. They're going to be one of the more whistle teams in the NBA. But to be clear, what you're saying here, are you saying that these refs were just bad, or are you saying the refs were calling fouls to help the Mavericks get back in the game?
It certainly. I don't know what the impetus is. I don't know what the reward is for doing that. But the game changed. It was out of control. From a non-competitive standpoint.
But you're saying it was only out of control in one direction.
Yes.
Okay.
That's exact. I mean.
Okay. You're entitled to believe that.
5 defensive fouls to 27. You're right about the aggressiveness, but I think Jordan Goodwin got called for 2 or 3 fouls that his reputation as a handsy physical defender, which he has been this year and done it with great success. He got called for a bunch of ticky-tack stuff last night. It was very, very frustrating. I don't want to harp on that. I wanted to get it out there in Vinny's view today.
I mean, the Suns were up 61-30 in the game. I mean,
they were. But when another team can score, when you're down 31 and you can score 32 points from the free throw line with no clock running, and had Dallas shot free throws better, we'd probably be talking about a Suns loss. They missed 12 free throws. There was a lot of other good things that happened in the game. We mentioned Devin Booker being a steadying force late. Loved what I saw from Ryan Dunn last night off the bench.
I thought he had a good game. First good game in months, I thought.
Just confidently shooting the 3, hitting them in big spots, was disruptive defensively. I thought that was a real step forward. I mentioned earlier, I'm not sure I understood the, we wanted to see Amir Coffey get acclimated, and he did early. He took the Jamari Bouye minutes, but it got real tight in the fourth quarter, and that was when Amir Coffey was on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Coincidence? Maybe. And maybe that was just Jordan not throwing him into the fire. And we're wondering, too, about the progress of Jalen Green. And he looked really good at times, looked explosive at times. He's still not right. It's obvious. And, again, he got fourth quarter minutes, but only 2 minutes and 47 seconds in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not exactly even in the closing unit yet. I think there's still a lot of work to be done and a lot of ramp up for him before we get to see him in the starting lineup and playing a normal dose of minutes.
Yeah, I think he's going to kind of have to, get back to being full speed and letting it rip and all that. And even then, I don't know what you're going to do to adjust it. I think what the Suns have realized is that, offensively, they had a really good thing going before having to reassimilate Jalen Green, and now they're going to have to kind of. And where they landed last night is where you want them to land, right around 120 points. You get them between 115 and 125, it's going to be a win every night of the week for the Phoenix Suns. So, yeah. I'm just happy. I'm just happy they got this win. They've got a chance now. In my opinion, a free crack at the Thunder, who are without the league's MVP, and then you've got the All-Star break. So there you go.
Yeah, and a lot has been made, too, about Devin Booker. He's participating. I thought he shot the 3 a little bit better last night, made 3 of them. The stroke looked really good early, but he was asked post-game why he's participating in the three-point contest this year.
We're a three-point shooting team, so I'm there on behalf of Colin, Royce, and Grayson. And, it'll be fun. I like the game, too. Everything's earlier in the day now, so we have practice at noon, and then three-point starts at 2, so I'm already down there, and I can shoot off the rack pretty good.
I ask this with full respect, but your resume speaks for itself, but your number is pretty low. Were you surprised?
I was surprised. There was years when I wasn't an all-star, that I used to try to beg to be in the three-point contest, but I feel like they want names. They want people that are actually playing in the game, so I'm going for the upset.
Is it the history of watching it as a kid that keeps drawing you back?
Yeah, kind of like Dwayne said, I won it in L.A. before, and it being earlier in the day was kind of a big part of it.
It's the best event of All-Star Weekend, and the field is good this year. And it's pretty funny to hear Devin Booker say, I was surprised, because he had dipped under 30% at a certain point this season, which is not where you want to be as a volume three-point shooter as he is, and as good a shooter as he is. I'm really curious to see what kind of effect the participation has on his second half of the season. Hopefully it has a good one.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I thought early on his three-point shot looked fantastic last night, and it kind of tailed off a little bit. But, yeah, I think just getting back into that competition kind of probably is an impetus for Devin Booker to kind of up that area of his game and maybe even shoot more of them. Even though I don't think attempts have been an issue with him, I think it's going to work for him in some weird way. I think representing, being part of that, is going to allow him to kind of, just put these past struggles behind him.
Yeah, and good on him, too. I mean, he gets the invite. He's surprised by it, but doesn't turn it down.
Yeah.
Even though he struggled from the three-point line, he's like, okay, I'll help the league out. And he wants to participate. That's a cool thing. Suns and Thunder tonight. We'll have a lot of recap on that game tomorrow heading into the All-Star break. Coming up next, does a lack of other quarterback options make it more or less likely that the Cardinals can trade Kyler Murray? The question continues to burn. We'll get into it next. Bickley and Murata Mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Pitchers and catchers. Now, Cactus League play. Soon.
This ball is gone!
The home of Arizona Diamondbacks baseball. Arizona Sports on YouTube. The Arizona Sports app. Arizona Sports 98.7.
Whether it's cooking a traditional meal, providing hot water for invigorating showers, or creating the ambiance for family gatherings, Southwest Gas proudly fuels our homes and communities with a safe and reliable natural gas service. Hi, it's Vince Murata, and more than 92% of Arizona customers prefer natural gas service in their homes. But natural gas is more than an essential home ingredient. It helps support economic development and growth in the community as well. Southwest Gas fuels the local businesses and industries that help our communities thrive. From startups to large-scale manufacturing, they help business succeed. Many of the recent large-scale businesses that have expanded their operations into Phoenix are dependent on natural gas to support their business and production. Southwest Gas helps businesses succeed while helping Arizona become a national leader in advanced manufacturing. And that's been the case for almost 100 years. Southwest Gas has been there, helping turn neighborhoods into communities, houses into homes, and big dreams into reality. For more information about how Southwest Gas helps fuel life's important moments and supports a sustainable energy future, please visit swgas.com.
For over a century now, Ford has been part of America. In my family, it's been generations. Paul Calvisi here. My grandfather worked for Ford Motor. My first car, a classic Mustang, still have it. But going to our Desert Ford dealers today means getting more than a vehicle. We're talking a full suite of benefits like complimentary Ford mobile service, or try Ford pickup and delivery. Yes, to and from your door, and it's easy scheduling in the Ford Pass app. Tough would be built Ford tough. More than a slogan, it's an identity of the F-Series trucks, and the all-new 2026 F-150 is the best yet. With a completely redesigned interior and exterior. Adventure? How about the Ford Bronco Sport? It says, let's get it, with 5 available trims so you can forge your own path. We recently bought a new Explorer at our Desert Ford dealers. Love the flexible seating up to 7. All the cargo room, the advanced tech. Bottom line, Ford is the future at our Desert Ford dealers. Just click buyfordnow.com.
Hey, it's Gambo, and I want to offer you something absolutely free that could save your life. A complimentary coronary artery and heart scan from Lifeguard Imaging. It's a $600 value, and it's yours for free when you call 602-755-5003 or text SCAN to 620-620. Lifeguard Imaging saves lives through early detection. They offer 5 incredible scans, even a full body scan. Right now, you can get a coronary artery heart scan for free when you call 602-755-5003 or text SCAN to 620-620.
Message and data rates may apply. Take a bite out of Shade Week at All Pro Shade Concepts. They're clearing out the warehouse February 9th through the 13th. And if you've been thinking about your shade for your patio, now is the time to get the lowest prices of the year. Retractable awnings and roll-down patio shades, all in stock, like new, many still in the box, marked down up to 50% off retail. Visit the All Pro Shade showroom Monday through Friday this week, 9 to 3 all week long. For details, visit shadeweek.com. That's shadeweek.com. Don't let these deals swim away.
It's Bruce St. James, and I'm sitting here with the Oliver Smith of Oliver Smith Jeweler. Question for you. I've heard that gold is at an all-time high. I know there's people that have a drawer or the back of a jewelry box. Maybe it's pieces they've never worn or don't wear anymore. Maybe they inherited something. How easy is it to turn that into cash?
They walk out with a check. Oftentimes, they're really flabbergasted by the amount of money that it's worth now. This gold was $300 an ounce for 25 years, which is really significant. So even if you have one charm left over and one earring that doesn't match anymore and a broken chain and something like that, you can get a little bit of money and go out for dinner. So it's fun. One of the other things is that you can come in anytime we're open. You don't need an appointment. We're flexible to work with your schedule, and we'll get you in and out of there quick.
You'll find Oliver Smith Jeweler at their flagship store, Scottsdale Road and Doubletree Ranch Road, also inside the Scottsdale Fashion Square Mall, and always online at oliversmithjeweler.com.
In 40 days, he'll get $20 million guaranteed if he's still on the roster.
They can cut him, but they would be taking a big cap hit.
There is no sure thing that Kyler's out. During those interviews with those coaches, and I talked to several different candidates who met with the Cardinals, they asked the Kyler question, and from what I gather, Michael LaFleur is not shutting the door on bringing Kyler back.
Arizona Sports, the Cardinal Decision with Bickley and Marotta.
I think Kirk Cousins, in this sense, because he has a lot of experience, he would help a young quarterback. If he wants to help a young quarterback, and Kirk probably does, he's in that mode now. He doesn't need to play a lot. He understands if a guy gets hurt, I'm going to have to go and play. Tua's going to look for – he doesn't want to be a backup. Tua wants to start. Yeah. Kyler Murray, you better have a special offense for him. I don't know.
He's too small. Small quarterbacks can't win, I don't think, anymore in this.
It's hard, but, location has a lot to do with him.
That's Herm Edwards from ESPN. More on that in a second. A shout-out and a good morning this morning to our audience via radio, via YouTube, via the app in Cave Creek. Appreciate you listening and watching in Cave Creek this and every morning. The Kyler Murray questions have lingered for 7 years, Vic. So we got, you heard it there in the lead up, the production lead up there. 40 more days until basically another chunk of salary would become guaranteed for 2026 for Kyler Murray. Already $36 million and change is guaranteed, but another close to $20 million would become guaranteed on that date. So it's decision time for the Arizona Cardinals. It's decision time for Kyler Murray, and kind of a fork in the road for himself. So there seems to be growing speculation, and we keep trying to debunk it, that Kyler Murray is going to be here next year because Mike LaFleur may have stood on the table for him. I doubt that's happened, quite honestly. Judging from what LaFleur said at the press conference and in subsequent interviews about Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Listen, and I think that I know that there's a lot of vacillation in terms of the people talking about Kyler Murray. I think this story has been on a very direct path since week 5 of the NFL football season, and that is a divorce. And there's a lot of talking, and there's a lot of speculation, and a lot of people who are either talking to the Cardinals or listening to them in press conference settings, and they're taking the wrong cues and thinking that maybe that they are thinking of running it back. That seems to me to be very, 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 very highly unlikely. To the point of near impossibility. So the question really becomes at that point in time, what are the Cardinals going to get for Kyler Murray? Will they be able to trade Kyler Murray? And what is that going to look like? The clock is ticking. You've got till March 15th to get this done.
Yeah, and that's going to be here before you know it. That's a little bit more than a month away. And I said 40 days. It's more like 34 days at this point. There is an interesting piece on ESPN that goes deep on a lot of the quarterbacks that could be moving addresses this offseason. A lot written about Kyler Murray. And one of the things, a couple of things that this article did was break down the analytics in a couple of different ways. The first analytic they broke down was a comparison between Kyler Murray, who was the first quarterback taken in the 2019 draft, number 1 overall, comparing him to Daniel Jones, who was the second quarterback taken later in the round by the Giants. And in EPA per dropback success rate, adjusted net yards per attempt, explosive pass rate, first down touchdown rate, the numbers are very similar. The article reads, if Murray is considered a veteran dart thrower who might steer a listless franchise into a rookie quarterback, then he's very expensive to add as a bridge option. Daniel Jones' 1-year deal with the Colts cost $14 million last season, and he did not cost them any draft capital. Jones is just a few months older than Murray, and from 2019 to 2024, in other words, excluding Jones' stellar 2025 season, so taking out his best year with the Colts, he was not a significantly worse quarterback than Murray by catch-all metrics. Murray is definitely a more talented player than Jones, but if the Jones deal is a good proxy for how the league wants to compensate bridge quarterbacks, it's tough to see the Cardinals dealing Murray without altering his deal. That's
okay.
Maybe another hurdle and speed bump and all of this.
And again, I don't know why that would be a case. I would think the team acquiring Kyler Murray would look at that contract, and if they really believed in him, would go, it's not kind of a bargain, actually.
Yeah. But, I mean, the cap hit is what the cap hit is. And I think to the point the article makes, what I believe the widespread belief in Kyler Murray is at this point doesn't line up with that cap hit.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
The other comparison they did was Kyler Murray against Kyler Murray. But it was the Cliff Kingsbury offense, Kyler Murray, against the Drew Petzing offense, Kyler Murray.
The other thing, though, when you start talking about cap hits, the majority of the NFL has got ample salary cap space. Ample. The idea of salary cap hits negatively affecting you might apply to 3 to 5 teams in the NFL max. Because none of them get near it anyways.
No, and the cap goes up every year. We know that. Yeah. I think there was a $22 million increase in the cap figure for 2026. But one thing that won't change is these teams don't want to spend a great percentage of their team cap on a quarterback unless that quarterback is a can't miss.
Well, yeah, and exactly. And I think that all of that stuff is going to be used against the Cardinals if they get into negotiations. The Vikings, in trading Sam Darnold, they got a 3rd-round compensatory pick. You already know what I believe. I believe 5th round is going to be the best they get for Kyler. I doubt they're going to get anything.
Well, and that's okay, because if you release him, you take on that dead cap, which we talked about in today's NFL, can be overcome. You look at the Broncos.
No doubt about it.
If you trade him, that would create $34 million in cap savings for the Cardinals. So we're here talking about, okay, what can the Cardinals get? They may not even care. They may just want to trade him to save the money.
Yes.
And again, I would highly recommend we lean back on Mark Schlereth, who you'll hear from today, by the way. Let's not get into these salary cap ramification discussions. It means nothing in the NFL. It's all excuses and alibis and convenient. It's convenient metrics for all NFL owners.
I agree, but can I get back to the comparison of Murray versus Murray?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is what might open the eyes, and not in a good way, of teams that are in the market for a quarterback. We spent 4 years of Kyler Murray's career talking about, wow, what would happen if he wasn't in a Cliff Kingsbury offense? What if he was in a more traditional, quote-unquote, NFL offense, under center, more tight end usage? This article points out completion percentage, off-target rate, touchdown interception ratio, yards per completion, and EPA per completion on 20 yards deep balls, yards in 20 yards in the air or more. His numbers were significantly better across the board under Cliff Kingsbury.
I don't doubt that.
Yes.
He was a significantly better player prior to this regime.
You use that as your guide for what can you expect from Kyler Murray. Who's tailoring their offense to Kyler Murray if it's not Cliff Kingsbury, who doesn't have a job right now in the NFL?
Nobody would.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be worth it. In fact, but I would say that you could go down all the metrics of Kyler Murray, and I would say that the thing holding another team back would be not anything to do with the metrics. It would have to do with the interpersonal. Is he a good teammate? Is he a good leader? Does he lift people up? Is he a drain? I mean,
is he a hard worker?
Is he a hard worker? Does he care the way a quarterback is supposed to care? And these are all fair questions. And look, that unnamed Jets teammate or former teammate of Kyler Murray who warned the Jets about him, you better believe a lot of those conversations are being had. That if there's NFL teams currently talking about acquiring Kyler Murray to become the next great home of a reclamation project, these are the conversations they're having.
Yep.
All right, who is this guy really? And what will he mean for us? Yeah, and those are heavy questions.
And those are going to be asked between now and the middle of March, no doubt. Coming up next, Sammy's going to take us through the big stories of this Wednesday morning. In the Rush Hour Reboot, it's Bickley and Murata mornings live from the Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort Studios of Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Sports keeps kids active, confident, and connected. But for many families, the cost of equipment can be a real barrier. That's why Arizona Sports is teaming up with Earnhardt Auto Centers for the Second Chance Sports Gear Drive, supporting Boys and Girls Clubs of the Valley. We're collecting new or gently used sports gear to help kids get in the game. You can drop off donations at any Earnhardt dealership or give online now through February 28th. To learn more, text GEAR to 620-620. Message and data rates may apply.
40,000 people. Let that number sink in for a second. That's not a crowd. That's a small city. And it's the number of people choosing pain relief without surgery. 40,000 people have said stop before a knee or hip replacement. There has to be another way. And they found it at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in using cellular-level treatments to revitalize joint tissue naturally. Today, patients are moving better, hurting less, and getting their lives back. QC Kinetics, right here in Phoenix, using safe, natural treatments backed by real science. Treatments that activate your body's natural healing power. Safe, natural, non-surgical, with zero downtime. The sooner you start, the faster inflammation will ease and slow down osteoarthritis progression that's causing your pain. Call now for your free consultation with clinics in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria, and Chandler. 602-837-PAIN. That's 602-837-PAIN.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Hey, sports fans, Wolf here. You know I've taken a few hits over the years, but back pain, that's been my toughest opponent. Luckily, I found the right coaches, the spine surgeons from Desert Institute for Spine Care. Dr. Joshua Abrams, great to have you.
Thanks, Wolf. Whether you're an athlete or just trying to stay active, you don't have to live with spine pain. I specialize in minimally invasive surgery, artificial disc replacement, which makes smaller incisions, less pain, and faster recovery, so you can get back to what you love.
That's what I'm talking about. Less downtime, more game time. And you even help develop technology surgeons use around the world, right?
That's right. I've worked with the largest orthopedic company in the world to create tools that make spine surgery safer and more precise.
You heard the doc. Don't sit on the sidelines with back or neck pain. Visit sciatica.com or text SPINE to 620-620 to connect with Dr. Abrams and the team at Desert Institute for Spine Care.
Message and data rates may apply.
The President's Day sales event is happening now at Freeway Chevrolet, and you can score huge savings on nearly every new Chevy, including 2025 and 2026 Silverados. Plus, get even more savings with our President's Day bonus voucher. So hurry in today or visit us online where you can check out our entire inventory and find out just how much you can save. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Freeway Chevrolet.
Hey, it's Bodie and Victoria, owners of NewACUnit.com, where homeowners save 50% off or more on new AC units.
You're probably wondering, if I buy a new AC unit online, who's coming to install it?
Or am I about to get upsold once they show up?
Those are fair questions.
At NewACUnit.com, we only use hand-selected, top-rated installers.
And the price you see online, that's the price. No surprises.
Get your price in minutes at NewACUnit.com.
Save thousands, save time, buy online.
I'm Sammy Cebulka with What's Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. The Phoenix Suns held off a late game scare to get a 120-111 win over Cooper Flagg and the Mavs. And here was Devin Booker on what went right early and wrong late.
I'd say just getting stops, playing fast, and getting a lot of threes up. Second half, they're getting to the free throw line a lot. getting out in transition and, drawing a lot of fouls.
The Suns are right back at it tonight against the NBA's best in the Oklahoma City Thunder, who recently got Jalen Williams back and healthy, but will be missing SGA tonight as the Suns Thunder tip off at 7 in the last game before the All-Star break, and you can hear it right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. Zach Gallen movement, pitchers and catchers, health updates, and more coming from day one of spring training for the Diamondbacks. For more, head on over to arizonasports.com. The Sun Devils picked up a much-needed win at home last night, 85-76 over Oklahoma State. The Lopes of GCU are in action tonight against New Mexico at 8. This report is brought to you by the Window Depot. Now is the perfect time to start your home renovation. Windows, doors, and more, all in stock at the Window Depot. Proud partners of the Arizona Diamondbacks, thewindowdepot.com.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Bickley and Milano mornings. Rush Hour Reboot. Rush Hour Reboot. Getting you up to speed on everything happening in sports this morning.
Yes, 7:30. That means it's time for the Rush Hour Reboot. I'm Sammy Sabolka. I want to give a quick shout out and thank you to all those watching on YouTube. We're at Arizona Sports over there if you want to.
How many we got, Sammy?
250 right now.
Oh, come on.
So,
we got to bump that number up.
We mentioned Matthew McConaughey yesterday, but we got to get those numbers up.
Vic, show some leg.
Oh, gosh.
Maybe you should button up, Jared. Maybe you are.
You think that's a deterrent?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
A deterrent.
They don't. The button down. I don't know. The button up. All right. So I wanted to bring this up yesterday, and I'll start here. So is hatred in the NBA coming back, and why are teams disliking each other good for the league?
Are you stemming this from the
from the fights and the scuffles we've had?
The Detroit-Charlotte fight. I can't say it's coming back widespread. I still think this was outlier. I think the level of respect that these players have for each other is still at a very high level. Mm-hmm. I think there's certain teams and players when frustration gets I don't know, that fuse gets lit. We're going to see some situations like that. I liked the NBA better when there were teams that truly hated each other. I like the heat between the franchises, and you just don't see that to a certain degree. But I'm not willing to say that it's there again.
No, I'm kind of with Vinny on this. I think one of the worst trends in the NBA now is that the brotherhood now is of all the players in the NBA PA, meaning they're all aligned for their own best interests, and they all dap up and love up each other after games. And it used to be the alignment was the team that you cheered for was in alignment with the city and their fans. Mm-hmm. And everybody outside that group, they were the enemy. Mm-hmm. Now it's the players are all aligned no matter what team they're on, and everybody else is just an outsider.
Okay.
So I'm with Vinny. I don't think the Heat is what it used to be, and I wish it were.
Yep, I agree. Like, the Pistons, Knicks last year, you could tell they really disliked each other. Yeah. Or even Pacers, Bucks for the last couple years. There's been some of that, but nothing to the extreme of, like, every single time they get together, you know something's going to happen.
Yeah, but we also come from an era, Sammy, too, where we saw the bad boys and the Jordan rules and Michael Jordan getting battered when the Bulls took on the Pistons. We saw the heat in the finals between the Lakers and the Celtics and the assaults that would go on. We saw Danny Ainge and Tree Rollins nearly kill each other at midcourt during a playoff game. It was much different then. And I don't know, it doesn't need to get to that level, but the camaraderie is a little much. Vic Britton brings up a great point. You want to dislike everybody who's not wearing your colors, right. and for 48 minutes you see these guys compete against each other, and then they're posing for pictures or swapping jerseys. It's a little much.
Yes. Okay, so the Suns got a much-needed win last night. What have you noticed, both good and bad, when Jalen Green, Booker, and Brooks are all on the floor at the same time? All three of those guys back. What have you noticed?
I have noticed that doesn't happen a lot. The way they've staggered minutes, and especially in the Philadelphia game, there was a time where none of the three were on the floor. And I know staggering of minutes, I don't think you'll see that once Jalen Green gets back to full health. But they are being incredibly cautious with Jalen Green, and I think his mentality has something to do with it. I think he's looked decent overall when he's been out there.
Yeah, I thought he looked better last night.
Yeah, I did too.
I was encouraged by his general pace of play last night.
Yes.
But I think the next step is to get him acclimated enough to where he feels comfortable being in a high-leverage situation at the end of the game, which we haven't seen very much.
Yeah. All right, so the Arizona Cardinals this offseason, we know they have the 3rd overall pick, an early 2nd rounder, and they have the 12th most cap space, and they could have more. How and where would you like them to use these resources? Obviously, you need to bolster the offensive line, but how do you want them to go about their offseason?
I mean, that's above what, I mean, there's so many holes on this team. There's so many needs. I don't think you can put it on one side of the football as they've done the last 2 off seasons. I think that's backfired on them. I think they just need overall better players.
Yeah.
That sounds very basic and rudimentary, but we're coming off a 3-win season.
Looks to me like they need an offensive lineman or 2.
Well,
Looks to me like they
definitely.
need a running back. Looks to me like they need a game plan at quarterback, what they're going to do.
But do you want them to spend running back? I agree is a need moving forward, but do you want them to spend substantial cap space
No,
on
I
a
talked
running
about
back?
that yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood to overpay for a running back.
Nope.
I think the days of doing those splash hires like signing J.J. Watt to get everyone to forget about this or that. You got to be smart about this.
Yep. Okay, so real
But
quick.
more specifically, I would agree with Bick. Offensive line, I think you need 60% of your offensive line replaced. Moving forward.
So the Diamondbacks, first day of pitchers and catchers yesterday, but Steve Gilbert, he actually sat down with Ketel Marte. Great piece. And Ketel said, we talked a lot and hashed out some things, talked it all through, and everything is great. Do you think Marte's relationship with the club is fully back intact?
Look, I would hope so. I mean, from my way of handicapping the situation, the organization did nothing to alienate or betray Ketel Marte.
Yeah.
Quite to the contrary. So the Diamondbacks have to be cool with him. And they are. Apparently they are.
Yeah, I think you hit on something important there. If those words are coming out of Ketel Marte's mouth going into the season, I think that's a healthy spot to be in. Because, I mean, it's no secret. The Diamondbacks did listen to offers. They were prepared to trade him, even though he's probably their most talented, steadiest player at this point of everybody's career on that team. And if he says he's good with it, we have to believe him.
And again, for people who haven't discerned this properly, it wasn't because the Diamondbacks were weighing, have we had enough of this guy? They had an option to bring in Alex Bregman.
Yes.
And that was really kind of what was spearheading a lot of that.
Okay.
So in regards to Ketel Marte, I listen. It's very, very. He made it very, very clear when it all hit the fan last year that he wants to be here. That the idea that he was on the trading block deeply bothered him. Now go prove it. Yeah. Go be a great teammate. Prove really that you're really grateful that the team gave you this chance.
Yep, I got to bring this up real quick. Bick, wow, okay.
Late.
Bick, at the beginning of the show, he came in, he said he was an inch away from his first hole-in-one yesterday.
Yes.
So Neil Shipley, we talked yesterday, he hit a hole-in-one at the TGL.
Mm-hmm.
If you hit a hole-in-one in a golf simulator, do you count that?
No.
You don't?
No.
It's like
You got to buy a simulated round.
Do you count it in a miniature golf if you get a hole in one?
Well, I do.
Whoa.
Windmill!
Yeah, windmill, baby!
No, you know what I mean, though? It's either real golf or it's not real golf.
Because yesterday they interviewed Neil Shipley, Luke Clanton, and Minwoo Lee, the team that won yesterday. And Shipley and Clanton are both very young golfers. And so they asked, does this count as a career hole-in-one? Neil Shipley said 100%.
No way, he did not.
Neil Shipley said 100%. Minwoo Lee, who's kind of a veteran on tour, he said, the celebration, definitely. And then he went on to say, Minwoo Lee, it's a good moment in life. Yeah, I don't know if I'd count it. But the other two are
honestly, no. That to me is like a major league pitcher claiming he pitched a perfect game because he did it in the show.
Right.
On a video game. Right. There's no way. That is so disappointing.
I can't believe he but you're ready to give it to him?
I hit a home run in the batting cage.
Jared, can we put this up? Jared, can we put this up on the poll?
No, because nobody watches that.
No. Just, I think.
Not golf, the fake golf.
I didn't hear.
So I got to tell the story.
Yeah.
So I dialed it in. I actually had a very, very nice and tidy round of golf yesterday. I'm at 16 at Sunridge Canyon, and for those who know, it's a gorgeous par 3. There's this gigantic ravine in front of the green. I just blistered my tee shot, 2-hopped, hit the pin, and bounced right to the right. I thought it was in, dude.
I can't believe you didn't lead the show with this.
I know.
We talk about this all the time.
We talk about the El Paso airport.
Exactly.
Listen, when it finally drops, I'll be talking about it.
Believe
me.
your ball El Paso'd the hole there.
I have to warn you. I've got a buddy. His name is Mark. He plays a ton of golf, and he's played for years and years, and he's way into it. A few weeks ago, he texted me on a Saturday a picture of him holding the ball, standing at the flag. He finally did it. And then we hung out and went over some beers. I asked him how it was, and he said, dude, it was completely underwhelming.
No.
It was not at all what I expected it to be. I said, well, did you buy the round of drinks? He said, yeah, me and my friend, after the round, we went to the sports bar next to the course we play. It was so early. They played so early. He's like, I wanted to buy everybody shots, and nobody would drink.
See, the day Bick hits a hole-in-one, I don't know if he'll be at work the next day.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody in my zip code will be at work the next day.
Thanks, Sammy.
Yes.
We're all rebooted. Rush Hour Reboot every morning at 7:30. Coming up next, how can a quarterback-needy NFL team find the next Sam Darnold? That and more straight ahead. It's Bickley and Murata Mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Phoenix Suns basketball.
Mark grabbing his 8th board to go with his 13 points. Here's Gillespie dribbling it into the forecourt. And the Suns win tonight. 120-111 the final score. They knock off the Mavericks and send them to their 8th consecutive loss. And they end their own 2-game losing streak to go back 10 games above 500 at 32-22.
Reaction to a Suns home win on the way. Plus a preview of Suns Thunder. Arizona Sports on YouTube, the app, ArizonaSports.com, and 98.7.
All right, you hear me say it every day. When you need Parker & Sons, they'll be there in a matter of minutes, not days. And folks, that is not just an advertising slogan. That is the truth, and I know because I lived it not that long ago. Had a plumbing emergency in the middle of the night, had a leaking toilet that flooded my downstairs bathroom. My youngest son had a knock on the door, wake me up. I came down, basically a little lake going on in my downstairs bathroom. I got up, got dressed, got in my car, called Parker & Sons at 4:30 in the morning. A live person answered the phone. I could not believe my ears. In this era of AI telephone conversations, here I was talking to a live person about my issue at 4:30 in the morning. Later learned that you always get a live person at Parker & Sons, which means no messages. It means instant action. By 8 a.m. the same day, they were at my home. Tremendously impressive. They can also make your everyday life better with preventative measures. Right now, always recommend the Captura Air Scrubber, which improves the air quality in your house, dramatically cleans the air in your house 24/7. A lot of people do not know the gunk they're breathing in until they notice the difference. Can make a big difference in your quality of life. Remember, Parker & Sons have been serving the Valley for over 50 years. They are the company you call for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. And like me, all you have to do is call 602-2-REPAIR. That's 602, the number 2, then REPAIR for Parker & Sons.
Staples has hot deals and super low prices on everything for your business. And right now, brand your business at Staples with up to 30% off custom labels. Exclusions apply. Shop Staples in store, online, or in the app. Ends 4/18. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
Hey, it's Wolf, and you've been hearing about the big President's Day sales event at Tim Hovig's Santan Ford, but this weekend there's a whole lot of extra muscle behind it. Landings Credit Union is on site for 4 days only with special low interest rates. Their goal, 100% credit approval. Every vehicle in stock is priced just 1 cent over invoice. It's all happening Friday, February 13th through Monday, February 16th at Tim Hovig's Santan Ford. Head on over to the Santan 202 Freeway in Val Vista Drive in Gilbert. A few restrictions do apply.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Bickley and Murata. Hash marks.
I get excited about Malik Willis, who's going to be a free agent, has an opportunity. He played in Green Bay last year, was drafted to Tennessee in the 3rd round in 2022. And in his limited action, not only has he had success in leading his team to victory, but also listen to the guys who talk about him. They talk about his leadership, the way he connects his team together. Josh Jacobs really sung his praises earlier this season. So I look at the arm talent, there's a check. The athleticism, check. But more than anything, what Sam Darnold brought, what I think what Malik Willis brings as well, is that ability to bring people together. That's another intangible that these quarterbacks have and need.
That is Sam Acho from ESPN. Malik Willis, candidate to be the next Sam Darnold. Do we have to do this every single year with every player that has a redemptive story?
Yeah, I suppose.
We just talked about Sam Darnold, maybe top 5 quarterback redemption story of all time.
Yeah.
It's up there. Mm-hmm. It's a great story. And I think the way I look at this, Bick, is when media types use that, and we know the NFL is a copycat league. Something works, people try to copy it. But when media types use that as a discussion starter, I think it's disrespectful to Sam Darnold's journey and how hard he's worked to accomplish what he's done.
It's actually, and again, I've been growing more and more uncomfortable with just the machinations of the national media on a yearly basis. This idea that we're 24 hours outside of the Super Bowl, it was like, how can we deconstruct Sam Darnold? How can we have conversations to diminish what he did by predicting who's going to do it next?
Yes.
It's I don't know, man.
It might be the best.
I really don't know.
But again,
whatever happened to just loving sports for great stories?
Well, I think that's part of it.
I'm with you.
I don't get it.
I think because, though, we've seen in the last 3 years, we've seen Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones, and Sam Darnold. We've seen 3 examples of it, which before that, there wasn't a lot of examples of reclamation projects that then on their 2nd, 3rd, or 4th stop years into their careers had these rebuilds.
Well,
the fact that we've seen a few recently, I think maybe everyone's looking for the next one.
But we haven't seen a few of these recently. Baker Mayfield never dipped as low as Sam Darnold had dipped. Never did. He went to Carolina, and it didn't work out, and he went to L.A., and he's always been a talented player, but he never dipped that far. Daniel Jones was having a good year, but the Colts' swoon started before Daniel Jones got hurt.
Listen, this really speaks to a subject that is very near and dear to me when I think about the NFL, because if you get around the NFL owners, like at the Super Bowl or something, they all act like they've won the Super Bowl, and they basically have. The amount of money they make just by owning a football team, and many of them, including our owners, it is something that was handed to them. But they all think that they know what they're doing, and in many cases they don't. And I would think that the story of Sam Darnold would be a wake-up call to every owner in the NFL that if you are dealing with a quarterback that is not living up to your expectations, a quarterback that was drafted high, and you're wondering, why has this guy not succeeded here? You might want to look in the mirror. because that's what the Jets should do, and that's what the Carolina Panthers should do. And the fact that people are claiming, well, Sam Darnold, he just finally got his act together. No, Sam Darnold finally landed in an organization that knew what they were doing.
That is very true, too. And maybe we're being not as crediting as we should be of the coaching that Sam Darnold got in Minnesota. And obviously...
And San Francisco.
San Francisco, and he credits it, too. Even without playing a lot, the experience he got, the coaching, the sitting back and observing what was going on in that offense was very valuable to him. But Kevin O'Connell, he gets a lot of credit for what happened in Minnesota. But I haven't really heard. I mean, Clint Kubiak landed a head coaching job and was announced yesterday in Vegas as the head coach of the Raiders. But I don't hear as much, hey, Clint Kubiak's a genius. He's really unlocked even a different level of Sam Darnold because he got over that hump and didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah, I'm not sure that has anything to do with Clint Kubiak, but I will say this, that Kevin O'Connell, for all the flowers and praise he deserves for elevating Sam Darnold, doesn't that get diminished by his decision that I can win without him?
Yeah. Well,
doesn't that make a smart guy look really stupid?
I don't know what the breakdown of responsibility for that decision was. There's one guy that paid for it with his job, and it wasn't Kevin O'Connell. It was the general manager. But you're right. It doesn't look nearly as impressive now. But yeah, you're exactly right, too. Organizations and settings and history matter in those
no doubt about it.
And he landed in the right place.
And the way that you grow a quarterback and the plan you set out for a quarterback when you draft him. The idea of let's get instant results, that doesn't work with everybody. No. And you can ruin a quarterback by doing that and asking that from a young quarterback. Meanwhile, I saw an amazing stat from the Super Bowl that I think really kind of sums up the Seattle defense. The Seattle defense last year had more sacks and takeaways at Levi Stadium than the 49ers did.
Wow. In 2 games?
In 2 games, the Seattle Seahawks had 9 sacks and 4 takeaways, while the 49ers in all of their home games had 7 sacks and 3 takeaways. How's that for a stat?
That's mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing. It is exactly what it is.
It's also mind-blowing when you consider that, and the sack number especially. San Francisco, once they lost Nick Bosa, they could not rush the passer at all. The fact that they went as far as they did this year with everything that was meant to hinder them, Kyle Shanahan should have been a coach of the year probably.
This is the ecosystem in which Mike LaFleur and the Cardinals have to flourish. You now have a Kyle Shanahan in the Bay Area who is do all sorts of self-reflection because in his last 2 games against Mike McDonald and the Seahawks, his offense managed 3 field goals, no touchdowns. He's hell-bent on finding the answers to beating Seattle. Matthew Stafford and the Rams were the only team that could do anything against the Seattle defense, and they did a lot against them. They're hell-bent on getting that back. So you got 3 teams, elite teams, that are caught in this war to the death between each other. And hey, don't forget about us.
Forget about all this.
Hey, guys, wait up.
Forget about all this college realignment. Let's get NFL divisional realignment. It's overdue.
Can we go back to the NFC East? There was a time when that felt like a death sentence for the Cardinals.
I missed that rivalry game between the Cardinals and the Commanders every year.
And the Cardinals and the Eagles.
The early odds for the division came out like right after the Super Bowl. FanDuel, DraftKings, they do the division odds. The Seahawks, Niners, and Rams all less than plus 400. The Cardinals are 40-1 to win the NFC.
Well, that's in a 4-team scenario.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And there is just no way in the universe anybody can picture the Cardinals doing next year what the Suns are doing this year.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to see until you see it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Coming up next, Bick kicks off the second half of this Wednesday show with
Fire!
The Bickley Blast. It's Bickley and Murata Mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Live streaming audio, podcasts, video highlights. The Arizona Sports app has all this and more from the local sports leader and Phoenix Suns play-by-play.
Booker on the penetration. Dump to Williams. He'll throw it down. What a look from Devin Booker.
Download the Arizona Sports app. Presented by Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning.
Spinato's Pizzeria has been a Valley favorite for over 50 years, and there's a reason why, because it's awesome. Hey, it's Vince Marotta. And yes, and now Spinato's has been the official pizza of the Suns and Mercury for the last few years. They take basketball and pizza seriously, and they're putting it together for the 3rd annual Spinato's Pizza Competition. What is the pizza competition? Well, we've all played the game horse in our lives. You can enter and show off your shooting skills in this year's pizza competition. You'll have a chance to win 4 tickets to a Suns home game, and if you do that, you get 1 shot on the court during a timeout in front of 17,000 plus people to win Spinato's Pizza for a year. The next qualifying competition is coming up next week. The Suns will be in San Antonio on February 19th on the road. Spinato's Ahwatukee location is hosting this qualifying event. It all leads up to the championship event in Gilbert in early April. And all the events are Suns road game watch parties as well. So even if you're not participating in the pizza competition, you can come out, enjoy delicious Spinato's food, watch the Suns on all the TVs, and hang out with fellow Suns fans. If you want more information on the pizza competition, locations, menus, all the good stuff, and to get entered in the competition, head right now to spinatospizzeria.com.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Why choose Sanderson Ford? Because for over 70 years, Sanderson has been doing business the right way, putting the customer and our community first, offering online purchasing options, making maintenance a breeze with mobile service and pickup and delivery, prioritizing customer needs and affordability to provide the best deal, plus raising over $1 million annually for local charities. So, when you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, choose no hassle, no pressure, no nonsense. Choose Sanderson Ford.
Sanderson Ford. I used to think the draft in my living room was just part of living in an older house. Turns out, I was paying the utility company for air leaking straight out my windows. I'm Becky Lynn, and if that sounds familiar, might be time to replace your windows and doors. Call my friends at Arizona Window and Door Store. Over 1,400 five-star reviews and their exclusive seal and shield installation process. Book your free consultation at azwds.com or call 480-562-3902. Again, book online at azwds.com.
Retail jewelry stores charge more because you're paying for their high rent, big storefront displays, and large sales staff. All of that overhead has to be covered, and it usually gets built right into the price of a diamond. I'm Diamond Dave, a fourth-generation jeweler at Desert Wholesale Diamond. We work by appointment, so important purchases get all the time and attention they deserve. We sit down one-on-one and take the time to look at diamonds side by side. We talk through what actually matters, how a diamond looks in real light, how it's cut, and what you're truly getting for your money. The goal is clarity, not pressure. At Desert Wholesale Diamond, you skip the markup that comes with traditional retail stores. Your appointment is private, honest, and pressure-free. Exactly how diamond buying should be.
Head to DiamondDaveCantor.com. That's DiamondDaveCantor.com. Or follow Dave on Instagram at DiamondDaveCantor. That's DiamondDave, Kantor.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here with my great friend Shane O'Hanrahan, GM of Chapman BMW, the guy that can make your car buying dreams come true.
It's true, Dan. I can't tell you how many times somebody has called or emailed me and asked for me by name and said, hey, Dan Bickley sent me to get the hookup. And you know what? We make it happen. So put me to the test. I will make your dreams come true.
That's Chapman BMW, 2 great locations.
1 great experience.
KMVP FM Phoenix, live from the Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort Studio. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
I'm Sammy Sabolka with What's Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. The Phoenix Suns avoided a fourth quarter collapse and got a 120-111 win against Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks, but they're right back at it tonight as the Oklahoma City Thunder roll into town, but they'll be without the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Tonight, tip-off is at 7 here on Arizona Sports, 98.7, and the Arizona Sports app. Baseball is back in our lives as the Diamondbacks returned to spring training yesterday for pitchers and catchers. And for storylines and updates, head to Arizonasports.com today. And the Sun Devils picked up a Big 12 win last night in their 85-76 win over Oklahoma State. And that's what's trending now.
Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
There is a loneliness at the center of every NBA season where sincere, try-hard, overachieving teams like the Suns come to a somber realization. The bad teams are in the tank, not even trying to win games, while the really good teams are trying to stay awake until the playoffs when the real competition begins. And so a fan base like the one in Phoenix realizes they're very alone in their scream from the bottom of your lungs, sell out the building every night kind of optimism, wondering what it all means and what it's going to mean when the playoffs finally get here. After last night, I only have a few lingering concerns. Number one, the Suns are a great offensive rebounding team. Last night, they put up 25 more shots than the Mavericks in a 48-minute game. But with the Suns, it's truly more about effort than size, and that's an advantage I fear will dry up when the postseason gets here. The other issue is end-game offense. We're currently the ball too often sticks in the hands of Dillon Brooks, who has otherwise been spectacular this year, and that is where I would like to see Devin Booker ascend in the final 28 games, where he needs to take control, where he needs to be that guy. Either way, the All-Star break is almost here, and then the playoffs beckon, which is good because it's hard to savor great regular seasons in a sport where the regular season doesn't matter to the high-end or low-end teams, but that's the scourge of the NBA, where tanking is part of the landscape, where the most enjoyable regular seasons are designed to not matter like they should. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW. Make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
You're just trying to get the best shot possible every possession. So if it didn't end in a high-quality shot and we had time left on the clock, we'll talk about it. We're trying to find the highest quality shot possible in the possession. That's it. Plain and simple. If there's crowds and there's stuff that we're not seeing, we'll touch on it. This depends a little bit on the shot clock. But there's also a confidence piece to this. The way the emotion of the game is going, we need someone to make a shot. He's never a shot away from that. He has the confidence to take it at any second of the 48-minute game. So whatever it takes, and then we're growing, like we're an evolving unit right now. So all of that is kind of a moving target right now, but it doesn't matter. We're still going to try to get better. So we're still going to look at it to try to get better.
That's Jordan Ott, the head coach of the Phoenix Suns, talking about what you brought up in the blast, too. The late game offense, ball sticking, and a lot of times sticking in the hands of Dillon Brooks. And look, there's good and bad in it. The good part is what Jordan Ott just described. Because I don't think there's anything worse, more frustrating, or more demoralizing to a team/fan base than a team that doesn't have players that are willing to take big shots in big spots. And you see it. You do. Even good players sometimes shy away from the spotlight in those situations. Dillon Brooks is, if confidence was an NBA trackable statistic, he would be the league leader.
Yeah.
He'd
be among them.
Yeah, he never gets dissuaded by it. But last night, if you look at his shot total, 11 for 26 from the floor, and a lot of that came in the first half. He made two of his last 2 of his last 9 shots. There was a couple of possessions where the ball did stick, and he ended up taking a shot. A lot of times it was a contested shot or a tough shot, which he's made a lot of, but it tightened everything up. And I think with Devin Booker being back, and again, we're going to see Jalen Green graduate to a spot where he gets more comfortable not only playing in those minutes, but taking those big shots. The ultimate, the best case scenario, at least in my mind, and I think you would probably agree with me, is that Dillon Brooks is your third option offensively. And if he's your third option with what he's been able to accomplish and what he does well, you're in a really good spot.
Yeah. And again, listen, this is, and I know that all of this has to be layered properly because Dillon Brooks, as I have said repeatedly, still the MVP of the team, in my opinion, the guy that's changed everything. So, and I totally get why this is sort of playing out the way it is. He wants to continue to be this guy, and he wants to continue to kind of grow this new reputation that he has in the NBA. And I admire all of that. I really do. Dillon Brooks is also, though, as you pointed out, he's the kind of guy that has schooled his brain that it doesn't matter how many shots I've missed, the next one's going up.
Yeah.
And that can be a really good thing until it's not. Until you need to have a little pinch of self-awareness that, okay, you know what? I got to keep this thing moving, and so these are little things, but as I say, pertinent to the subject of the blast, I think we learned this in a different way with the Chris Paul 64-win Phoenix Suns, a team that set a franchise record for most victories in a regular season, and a team that was unceremoniously ousted in the first round of the playoffs.
Second round
of the playoffs. They beat the Pelicans in the first round. Second round of the playoffs. And I think what we all realized that year was, okay, those 64 wins, it said great things about the night-to-night commitment of the Phoenix Suns, but it said a lot of bad things about the rest of the league. And that's what the NBA has become. You got X amount of teams that know they're in the playoffs, that seeding really probably doesn't matter all that much to them, and you got a lot of teams at the bottom end that are tanking and very content with where they're at. It's not like the National Football League.
No, it's not. But I voiced my frustration on how that game transpired last night, and I pointed the finger at the officials. But instead of pointing the finger at the officials, there's another way to look at it. You can give credit to the Dallas Mavericks, who are a rebuilding team. They just made another big trade. They have 19 wins on the season. They're not going anywhere, and they weren't a whole unit last night. They were missing some key players. And in today's NBA, it would have been understandable. You fall behind by 31, you pack it in. They didn't pack it in. Credit to them. They did. They started to play hard. I thought the effort early by Dallas was pretty pathetic, but that kind of flies in the face of what we've seen. So maybe a little bit of a pat on the back to the Mavericks for making it a game. But you're right. I mean, and we're going to get into this in a little bit here. The league-wide problems that the NBA has right now.
It's over the top.
There's
it's
a lot of heavy
ridiculous.
ones.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous. And I think at the end of last night, I think you started to see a little bit of what I talked about, where Devin Booker being on the floor, as I said, he able to see the double teams coming at him and very willing to pass out of them immediately. And Dillon Brooks might see him coming, but his natural inclination is, I don't want to give up this ball. I want to make this shot.
This whole season, I've always been wondering, if Dillon Brooks is this good, why hasn't he been this good?
Well, a lot of it's opportunity, a lot of it's being that guy. So, but you're right. I think but in that journey of self-exploration, there's got to be a little bit of awareness.
Right, and maybe that's part of it. The opportunity maybe hasn't been given to him because of they know the best way to utilize him is to rein him in a little bit.
Yeah, and I think you saw a little bit of what I was talking about. I think the Mavs cut that lead last night to 8. I believe it was 112-104. It was just under 5 minutes when Devin made that nice little shot. And it was kind of like, whew.
Yeah, it was 6 before that shot.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. It was
he
6.
made it 8. Yeah.
That's right. It was a 6-point lead at that point, and he hit that baseline jumper, and it was like, okay, thank goodness. And that is, and that was one of those moments. I thought Colin Gillespie had a great hustle play, stripping that ball free. when the lead was 9 and it could have gone down to 6, and then they scored on the next possession and they got that thing back into a. There were any number of times last night where it just seemed like, okay, are they really going to let this thing get this close? And they came up with plays, but it's all going to be different when they get into the postseason. And some of these things are going to, and like I said, I think the offensive rebounding, I watched this team and the effort they put on the offensive glass, it's absolutely astounding to me. There are 2 things about the Phoenix Suns that blow my mind. And this is somebody who's watched basketball now for 40 plus, 50 plus years, whatever it is. Their ability to get back on defense, they get back with the most intentionality of any team I've ever seen. So when the other team's got numbers going the other way, I've never seen a team try as hard to get back as the Phoenix Suns. And then number 2, just how active they are on the offensive glass. And maybe that gets contagious because of a guy like Jordan Goodwin, and guys go, look, if he can get 12 rebounds a game, I certainly can go get a couple.
Yeah, and a couple of guys last night. Mark Williams, 4 offensive rebounds. Oso Ighodaro off the bench. And
10 rebounds off the bench.
10 rebounds and 6 of them on the offensive end. And I wouldn't say that rebounding is necessarily his forte as a second-year center, but that was a pretty studly performance last night.
Yeah, my point is, though, I don't think this dramatic difference in possessions, which is at one of the foundational stats about why the Suns team has been so good, it is something that you can necessarily count on in the playoffs.
Yep. Coming up next, the NBA has a big problem right now. And in the words of Maggie O'Hooligan, well, thanks for nothing.
That was good.
Get into it next. It's Bickley and Murata Mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Phoenix Suns basketball.
Mark grabbing his 8th board to go with his 13 points. Here's Gillespie dribbling it into the forecourt. And the Suns win tonight, 120-111, the final score. They knock off the Mavericks and send them to their 8th consecutive loss. And they end their own 2-game losing streak to go back 10 games above 500 at 32-22.
Reaction to a Suns home win on the way, plus a preview of Suns Thunder. Arizona Sports on YouTube, the app, ArizonaSports.com, and 98.7.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here. I'm a huge believer in your body's natural ability to heal itself. I'm a huge believer in what my friends at QC Kinetics can do for you if you are dealing with any kind of joint pain, chronic joint pain, pain in your shoulders, knees, back, elbows, wherever. And I'm a big believer in QC Kinetics for very, very good reason. First of all, the patient satisfaction rate across the country at QC Kinetics is 92%. That is a staggering number. They've helped over 40,000 people get real relief from chronic joint pain. That's an astounding number. I've leaned on them twice, both times to incredible market improvements. Emmett Smith also raves about what QC Kinetics has done for him. What they effectively do is they liberate your body to heal itself, to repair and restore damaged joint tissue wherever you are hurting. And these are treatments, they're all organic. You walk into the office, you get your treatments, you walk right back out the door and go about your day. They're simple procedures, but they deliver life-changing results. Go find out what these cutting-edge options can do for you. Move better, get stronger, stop managing your pain, start solving it at QC Kinetics. You can find them in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria, and Chandler. Get on the books by calling 602-837-PAIN, 602-837-PAIN for QC Kinetics.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
A great haircut every time in a barbershop that will make you feel young again. That's V's Barbershop. Dave Burns here. And for Jimmy V, the founder of V's, that was his mission. Hire the very best barbers in town and create that old-fashioned vibe that you experienced as a kid. You open the door to V's, and it's a wave of nostalgia. And when you leave, you have a haircut to be proud of from a barber that you trust. The next time you're thinking about where to go to get your haircut, don't think about it. Go to vbarbershop.com and book your appointment today at V's.
Everything is priced to sell at Tim Hovik Santan Ford. F-150s, Broncos, Mustangs, Explorers, SUVs, trucks, EVs. If it's on the lot, it's marked down thousands off MSRP. And for 4 days only, Friday through Monday, we've partnered with Landings Credit Union for exclusive special financing rates. We're working with all credit types, and our goal is 100% approval. During the President's Day event at Santan Ford, enjoy simple, transparent pricing for everyone. Hurry in for the best selection during this 4-day President's Day event at Tim Hovik Santan Ford. Online at santanford.com. Ends Monday. Restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, it's Gambo, and I want to offer you something absolutely free that could save your life. A complimentary coronary artery and heart scan from Lifeguard Imaging. It's a $600 value, and it's yours for free when you call 602-755-5003 or text SCAN to 620-620. Lifeguard Imaging saves lives through early detection. They offer 5 incredible scans, even a full body scan. Right now, you can get a coronary artery heart scan for free when you call 602-755-5003 or text SCAN to 620-620.
Message and data rates may apply. Hey, Ron Wolfley here for Legacy Green Solutions, the Valley's most trusted team for over 25 years when it comes to artificial grass, putting greens, and hardscape. They transform my backyard into a true oasis. The artificial grass looks incredible. And listen, spring is the time to act. If you're thinking about switching to artificial grass, do it before the summer heat. Text GREEN to 620-620 for their special spring offer of 15% off or visit LegacyGreenSolutions.com. Message and data rates may apply.
Come on. I'm burning. Come on. Come on.
Arizona Sports. Floor Burns with Bickley and Murata.
I think what Utah is doing right now is messing around with the integrity of the NBA. The ability to sit players, starters, in the fourth quarter, to not call timeouts in the fourth quarter. Orlando won the game on Saturday because they basically rested players. And it backfired on them last night. So I think if you're the league, you're looking at it. All right, can we do some gimmicks? Can we alter protections and eliminate protections as far as picks? Or can we put the hammer down?
Oops, I messed up. I had Maggie cut off the end of Bobby Marks there. Talking about penalties maybe for what the Utah Jazz are doing. Everybody's talking about the Utah Jazz around the NBA. Mm-hmm. They're not a good basketball team. When they have played their starters at times in the pre-All-Star portion of the schedule, Bick, their defense has been atrocious. That might be something to do with an organizational tank job. But what has happened in the last 2 games especially, Bobby Marks mentioned the Orlando game. They had a game against Miami where, again, they sat out their best 3 players in Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., and yes, Yusuf Nurkic has been good for Utah this year. He hasn't played in the fourth quarter either. Will Hardy, their head coach, after the Miami game, was asked this question by a reporter.
Putting Jaren or Lowry back in the game in the fourth quarter.
How close were you to putting Jaren Jackson and Larry Markkanen? I wasn't. Straight-faced. This is a big problem. We've seen tank jobs in different circumstances and different methods carried out for those tank jobs in the past. The promise and the draft crop for 2026 this summer, very strong class. You're at the top of that draft class. You're probably going to get a player who's going to change the trajectory of your roster moving forward. At the trade deadline, we saw a number of teams, Utah included, make trades not for this year, but for the future. Washington did too. Trae Young and Anthony Davis, hey, it's certainly a maneuver to trade for those guys at this point in their careers to build around. But they're not going to play this year.
Yeah.
Both of them could play this year, but they're just not going to because they want to improve their draft stock and get one of those players at the top of the draft. I understand the impetus. What I can't understand for the life of me is Will Hardy, the head coach of the Utah Jazz. He is very much considered an up-and-comer. He's a widely respected, bright young head coach. And how he can get on board with this and how the players on that roster can get on board with it too, when Utah is positioning itself basically to get players to replace those guys. I don't understand it. And how do you work your whole life to become an NBA head coach and then get it And in
because your boss demands that you do,
but,
because you're getting security by doing it.
But how many times have we seen security granted to these coaches? The closest we've ever come is Brett Brown in Philadelphia. Embrace the embrace the process. And he did for a while, and then they got good. And what they do to Brett Brown? They fired him. It's just gross.
Yeah. Okay. Again, but this isn't a Utah Jazz problem. This is an NBA problem.
It is.
And so what the Utah Jazz are doing, they're basically saying, okay, Adam Silver, you and your league came up with anti-tanking measures that were supposed to work, and that was by mandating that teams play their star players with some regularity. And if you don't get to 65 games as a star player, you don't get any rewards, and then you don't get bonuses. So there's a lot of incentive for you all to not be tanking games. Well, the Utah Jazz, they're starting their key players. They just sit them at the end of games. So they're literally they're literally subverting the rules of the NBA and the intent of the rules put in by the NBA. Yeah, our guys are starting. They're just not finishing when it's time to win a basketball game. So so it's this kind of openly strategizing against the anti-tanking measures, which now have led to calls for Adam Silver and the NBA to come up with more measures.
Yeah.
That is what, and then you throw in all the gambling, and then you throw in all the anti-official bias, which we've already heard today.
Well, and now the new thing on the gambling is the prediction markets. Giannis has a Kalshi partnership, which people are freaking out about.
As they should.
With the tanking too, real quick, the Nets, the Kings, those are just bad basketball teams. Okay, they have their own pick. They're not good. When it comes to like the Pacers, and we talk about the Jazz and the Wizards, they don't necessarily control their own pick. So what they can control is them losing to then get the best odds for them to get the pick, which that brings up the other question of moving forward, are picks going to just be lottery protected or top 4 protected? Like, there are finer details to this than just the Jazz trying to lose.
Well, yeah. In Washington, you've got Trae Young and Anthony Davis, and Trae Young more than Anthony Davis, who probably aren't going to play this year. You've got Ivica Zubac, who just got traded, who might not see the court this year. And again, this is, as I tied to my blast, it actively, and what it does, and it's a shame for the Phoenix Suns, is it diminishes everything about the regular season. So when a team like the Suns put together a magical one, what does it mean? Who's paying attention? We are, but nobody else is, because the league makes it such that this stuff just doesn't matter.
Yeah. Tonight, if you're a real sicko, and you really want to see the implosion of the NBA, tune into the Sacramento-Utah game. We know what Utah is doing. Keontae George is already listed out. Lauri Markkanen is listed as available, but only for the first 3 quarters.
I thought he was listed as out due to rest. I could be wrong.
Today's report, the latest, the 10:15 Eastern report, available, but he's listed. Rest is in the column. Sacramento is sitting DeAndre Hunter, whom they just acquired, Zach LaVine, Malik Monk, Keegan Murray, Domantas Sabonis, and Russell Westbrook.
Can I give you guys some potential or possible ways the NBA can fix this? This is just what I've heard.
Do away with the lottery.
Yes, what you can do away with the lottery. You can make this is an abstract one, but your records for the lottery are set on March 1st. So your record on March 1st is where you're going to be standing in the lottery, and then
Arizona Sports breaking news.
This, according to Steve Gilbert, outfielder Corbin Carroll suffered a broken hamate bone
in his hand.
Yeah, during a live batting practice session, and will miss significant time this spring.
Oh no! So he took a pitch off the back of his hand, is what he did.
Super.
Sick.
Oh, boy.
What did I say yesterday? If it wasn't for bad news on the injury front for the Diamondbacks, we'd have no news at all.
We haven't even officially started spring training yet.
Yeah, he's an outfielder. Pitchers and catchers reported yesterday.
Yeah. Darn it, Corbin, why is your work ethic so great? You shouldn't even be here today.
And that means Corbin Carroll won't be part of Team USA in the World Baseball Classic either.
What a bummer. Yeah. What a bummer.
But I guess if it's gonna happen,
that's a bad deal, because the one thing you don't want as a hitter trying to get your rhythm early in camp is pitchers who come too far inside.
Yeah, I mean,
this happened to the late Ryan Sandberg many, many, many years ago. Second day of spring training, a pitcher came right in on him, busted a bone in his hand. It was like, what are you doing, man?
Well, during the
so I wonder who was throwing to Corbin
exactly
Carroll.
During the course of the regular season, we got to the point last year where like, when is this going to stop? When are the Diamondbacks going to do something? They can't retaliate against their own pitchers.
Yeah, right. I know.
So that's the latest from Steve Gilbert. Corbin Carroll, broken hamate bone. And the only timetable is it just says we'll miss significant time.
Significant, never a good word.
This spring. Yeah.
Let's hold on.
Baseball's back.
Hold on. Recovery time, broken hamate bones, 6 to 8 weeks generally.
Okay.
Spring training is a little longer this year because of the World Baseball Classic. So we're trying to keep a brave face.
So we're mid-Feb. So
you talking about
probably missed the first 3 weeks of the season, maybe.
Or yeah,
that's still too much. But,
yeah. All right.
That's a bad break, literally and figuratively.
Yep. Coming up
My
next.
hand.
It's broken.
Well, thanks for nothing. To bring it full circle. We'll have our weekly NFL discussion, the last one of the year, with our guy, Mark Schlereth. That's next. It's Bickley and Murata Mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2.
We're talking to Adrian James, Larry Fitzgerald. Like, the guy just doesn't talk about himself. He's going to get celebrated at Canton. What's that going to be like, especially for you as a teammate?
Well, this time he has no choice. This time it's about him. He has to be celebrated. It's about him. And one thing about when you get to the Hall of Fame, that's your moment. And I think if I were to say, okay, if the time to celebrate yourself, this is the time. This is the perfect time to celebrate yourself and talk about yourself, because everything is going to be put in perspective once he gets to Canton and he gets to put on that jacket.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
LASIK and Evo ICL from King LASIK gives you freedom from glasses and contacts. Refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision eliminates readers and cataracts. Vince Murata back in the early 2000s. I did have LASIK surgery. It changed my life. But now, a quarter century later, what's changed is my vision. I'm getting older. Things not as sharp. Squinting from time to time. I've had to purchase readers, although I don't use them regularly yet. I had a thorough exam from the doctors at K2 Vision, and I found that, like many who have had LASIK in the past, I am a prime candidate for refractive lens exchange, or RLE. It's a permanent solution that would also guarantee I will never develop a cataract. Doctors King and Kopstein at K2 Vision, they have performed over 300,000 procedures. Lots of experience, and I know from personal experience that they'll know the best procedure for you. You can schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Your financial freedom is most determined on how you finance your home. Get that one wrong, and you'll spend your life indebted to the mortgage company. The Life Changer loan allows you to do your banking inside your mortgage. So every dollar you earn attacks every dollar you owe without fear, because you keep access to all of your equity. That's real financial freedom. It's not magic. It's just math. Your debt sentence ends today at lifechangerloan.com. That's lifechangerloan.com.
Arizona Mortgage Broker number MB1002031, NMLS number 1863775. Life Changer Loan Corp is an equal housing lender.
Hey, sports fans, Wolf here. I've taken a few hits over the years, but back pain, that's been my toughest opponent. Luckily, I found the right coaches, the spine surgeons from Desert Institute for Spine Care. Dr. Joshua Abrams, great to have you.
Thanks, Wolf. Whether you're an athlete or just trying to stay active, you don't have to live with spine pain. I specialize in minimally invasive surgery, artificial disc replacement, which makes smaller incisions, less pain, and faster recovery, so you can get back to what you love.
That's what I'm talking about. Less downtime, more game time. And you even help develop technology surgeons use around the world, right?
That's right. I've worked with the largest orthopedic company in the world to create tools that make spine surgery safer and more precise.
You heard the doc. Don't sit on the sidelines with back or neck pain. Visit sciatica.com or text SPINE to 620-620 to connect with Dr. Abrams and the team at Desert Institute for Spine Care.
Message and data rates may apply.
Here's a tale of Linda trying to lose weight, but the med prices she found were all over the place.
Hidden fees and markups made her jaw drop low. Then she found Good RX. Now she's in the know.
GLP-1 subscriptions FDA approved.
With clear upfront pricing.
And same-day pickup.
That's Good RX, the no-nonsense way. Save time and money on prescriptions.
Get to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or bird seed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whether it's getting back on the court or back to everyday life, recovery takes the right team. At the Barrow Neuro Rehabilitation Center, that means a combination of world-class neurological specialists who share one mission, helping each patient reach their unique recovery goals. Nationally ranked in rehabilitation, Barrow Neurological Institute is dedicated to maximizing independence and quality of life for people with conditions of the brain and spine. It matters where you get your neurorehabilitation care. Learn more at barrowneuro.org.
I'm Sammy Sabolka with What's Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. The Phoenix Suns held off a late-game scare to get a 120-111 win over Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks last night, but they're right back at it tonight against the NBA's best Oklahoma City Thunder. That game will tip at 7 right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. And according to Steve Gilbert, outfielder Corbin Carroll suffered a broken hamate bone during a live batting practice session on Tuesday, and he will miss significant time this spring. This report is brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers. It's the President's Day sales event at your Valley Chevy dealers, trucks, SUVs, and electric vehicles. Don't miss out. Visit your Valley Chevy dealers today.
Have you heard about the lonesome loser? Sit down, take a look at yourself.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
NFL analyst Mark Schlereth talks football with Bickley and Murata.
Brought to you by Earnhardt Ford and Chandler. Shop local. Shop EarnhardtFord.com.
It is Bickley and Murata mornings on this Wednesday here on Arizona Sports, and unfortunately, for the final time of this football season, to put a wrap on it, we get our weekly discussion with the one and only Mark Schlereth, NFL on Fox, Denver Sports, the Stinkin' Truth podcast. Mark, welcome to the show on this Wednesday.
Well, thank you, guys. It's going to be emotional. This is an emotional last meeting together. I'm sure we'll connect at some point during the draft or whatever. Sure. But, yeah, it's goodbyes are hard. They're hard.
It won't be the same. I agree with you.
Yeah, I will never, ever forget your recruiting pitch to become head coach of the Cardinals. Stay low, hit 'em high.
Yeah, right. I was thinking the other day I was in Spokane, Washington, and I saw this guy, an older guy with a belt and suspenders on. And I thought to myself, like, you're getting old when, like, there's a reverse correlation between the size of your belly and the size of your ass.
Yes.
And as you age, like, I used to have such a big ass. I was like, what happened to my ass? And I started looking at this old guy and going, you know what? He's on to something there. Suspenders and a belt might just keep my pants up. And so that may be the next look for me. The next time you see me on television, they belt and suspenders.
You learn the greatest life lessons in Spokane, I've always found.
Right, well, exactly.
We got to put the wraps on the season, and unfortunately, we're putting the wraps on the season after what was a pretty terrible Super Bowl. I think it's the most lopsided 16-point decision in the history of the NFL. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, it was a butt whipping. There's no question about it. And then, it does go to show you, and I get in this argument with my radio partner and the Stinking Truth podcast partner, Mike Evans, all the time, where he's like, well, you don't really need to run the ball. It's such a throwing league. And, I look at that and say, how foolish can you be? You look at the dominance of that game, and not only from the side of Seattle, who ran the ball exceptionally well and took that pressure off their quarterback, but from the New England side.
Yeah.
I mean, they could not block the Seahawks. So did you think dropping back another 35 times was going to help you block them? You were going to figure it out at some point in there? At some point, I was disappointed in their lack of adjustment and their lack of basic understanding.
Amen.
Will Campbell gave up 14 pressures. Did you all of a sudden you thought in the third quarter he was going to go, oh, epiphany, you know what? I actually have to lose these things hanging out of my shoulder pads, they're arms. I've got to actually use them to block people. At some point you're going to have to start calling the game differently. And that was that for me was a real disappointment. It was an ass whipping, there's no question. But I also thought the Patriots just didn't do it very well.
I am so with you on that. For a team that got so much praise for the job Mike Vrabel does, for the impact Josh McDaniels can have, they did absolutely nothing in those situations. I heard a Seattle player recently say that they looked over at Will Campbell and they knew it was a passing play because he was shaking with fear.
Yeah. I've been there. There's one good, one positive. You're a New England fan, right? That Mike Vrabel doesn't have to cut off his hoo-ha. So I think that's a positive. That part is probably the only positive for New England is that he gets to remember, because I think it's important to have a hoo-ha if you're a dude. But that is just my personal opinion.
Well, you're right. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
So, thank you.
I think early in the game, too, New England defensively, the way that they were really aggressive in undercutting routes, and I think they were playing, Mark, for a big play and maybe a defensive score, trying to bait Sam Darnold into making a mistake, and he just never did. And that's all they had. They didn't have a fallback plan after that.
Yeah, it was interesting. The other thing is, I thought New England, had you studied Kenneth Walker, he does such a good job of essentially walking to the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden getting everybody sucked in, and they're running inside zone. They're running 14-15 handoff, and he's just kind of patiently walk up the line of scrimmage. And when everybody sucks in, he's got such an explosive nature that all of a sudden he's bam out the back, out the front side. And I thought he was incredible in that game. I thought he was exceptional. A lot of fun to watch. I did have some of my college buddies go, hey, do you think a kicker could be, the MVP? Which I laughed. They go, you idiot. You cannot. That's in the Geneva Convention. You cannot give a kicker the MVP. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
The Geneva Convention. All right, so if things weren't difficult enough for Mike LaFleur, the new head coach of the Cardinals, having to deal with Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan, I'm a bit worried about this dude in Seattle. He is a madman. I am not sure I have seen a better defensive play caller in my life than Mike McDonald.
Yeah, he was exceptional. And then you can always tell what people think about a team or who they're playing based on the game plan. I mean, one, brilliant from bringing pressure from one side, from the right side, right, and leaving the left side one-on-one with Will Campbell and Jared Wilson, because you knew you were going to get the one-on-ones because the back's got to get over there. You could see the blitz coming, so you got to protect that way, and you expose that left side. And then basically saying, hey, man, we're not afraid to go one-on-one. We're not afraid to play man coverage in the back end. That's what we're going to do, and we don't believe you guys can beat us. And there's no question they were a dominant force on the defensive side of the ball. And I just thought it was an exceptional game plan. And then, again, coupled with the fact that I just didn't think the New England Patriots made any adjustments at all. Like, if you're getting all kinds of upfield pressure, hey, man, let's run a draw. Let's run a trap. Let's start running some screens. Run a bubble screen into the blitz or run a quick slant into the blitz. Like, something to at least, at least stab them a little bit and at least take some of the starch out of them.
Yeah.
And it just never happened.
It never did. We're talking with Mark Schlereth, as we do every week during football season. So we were kind of wondering what the feeling of lament was in your neck of the woods in Denver, because, after watching the AFC Championship game and watching what we just saw from the Patriots in the Super Bowl, had Bo Nix been healthy, we'd be talking about a Broncos-Seahawks Super Bowl again. What is the feeling in Denver? Is it just a feeling of, what if, or are they pissed? What's going on?
Yeah, I think there's almost a sense of, like, almost relief in that, if Bo Nix would have been healthy, we'd have been there, and the Denver Broncos would have shown a lot better than the New England Patriots did. I think their defense is better, offensive line, they're better. I still think the Seahawks were the best team in football toward the end of the season, the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, and then through the playoffs. So I'm not saying the Broncos would have won, but it would have been a much better showing and a much better game than the game we got to witness. So I think that's the feeling. And there's almost like this feeling of, man, like, that's good for going into next year from a motivational standpoint. I think you're getting a lot of that going in. So that part, I think people feel pretty confident, pretty good about what's happening.
All right, so as a guy that's won Super Bowls, why have you never gotten into coaching? I know you've thought about it, haven't you, in the past?
Yeah, I've had offers, and at the time I just wasn't ready. I didn't get into it right away because I was, still coaching my son's baseball teams, and I wanted to be a part of his college experience and all that stuff. And so, I stayed away from it and got into the media where I could have those weekends. And like this weekend, I'm going to Tampa because he's a coach at the University of South Florida, and I get to go watch and, you learn and you learn the parents and you have relationships with the parents of the players, and I just so enjoy that. So I really wanted to be a part of that. And I've had some opportunities. I like if my phone rang and somebody said, "Hey, would you do it?" I can guarantee you this. Like, I haven't put a lot of game plans together, but I will say this. There's nobody on the planet that knows more about blocking dudes than I do, because I had to, based on my injury history, based on the fact that I had 20 knee surgeries, I had a back surgery, I had 7 elbow surgeries, and I lined up every week and blocked guys in spite of all the injuries and the fact that, I'd have a surgery. I had a surgery on a Sunday night and played Monday night the next day. So there's nobody that knows how to get more out of their body than I do. And so, like, there's no question, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but I'm brilliant, and there's no question I would be the best offensive line coach in all of football.
Well, Mike LaFleur might need you, man. We might need you in Arizona.
He might be bitter that he got passed up for the head job, though.
Well, that's true.
Well, no, you know what? I can be purchased, and I'd come out to the desert. Now it's gonna, I do pretty well for myself. Of course, I've got 4 jobs, but I do pretty well for myself. So, you're gonna have to pony up the dough. But that goes to Bidwell.
Yes,
that goes to Bidwell.
Yes.
Maybe he'll be listening this week, Mark.
Thank you for another year of quality entertainment.
Yeah, fantastic
Mark.
stuff as always.
All right, be well, guys.
All right, take care. Mark Schlereth joins us every week during football season. Has for years. We look forward to it. He's awesome. Of course, from NFL on Fox, Denver Sports, and the Stinkin' Truth podcast. What's that 4th job? I wonder. It's Bickley and Murata mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
The Arizona Sports YouTube channel for live shows, podcasts, viral clips, shorts, and more. Just the local sports leader doing what we do on YouTube. Serve yourself some Arizona sports. Subscribe to the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, everybody, Dan Bickley here. Sports fans know better than anyone that winning on the court is important and all, but if you're ever injured in an accident, your ability to win in court becomes essential. This is one of many reasons you pick up the phone and call the accident attorneys at Sweet James. Sweet James Accident Attorneys, serving injured accident victims for over 25 years. They take every single case seriously to ensure their client's voice is being heard. Their experience in over 500 trials with a 98% winning record means that insurance companies know Sweet James will not back down. They have got a serious reputation, and when the law firm that represents you is taken seriously, that means you are taken seriously. They're also trusted by thousands of injured accident victims in Arizona, the official attorney partner of your Phoenix Suns. Now, look, there are a million accident and injury law firms out there. They all say the same things, but very few deliver the results that Sweet James does. They are the only firm you call. When you hire Sweet James, you get attorneys with incredible amount of trial experience, which gives them great leverage, and you can also expect maximum compensation when you hire Sweet James. All you have to do is call 1-800-9-MILLION, 1-800-900-0000, online at sweetjames.com.
I used to think the draft in my living room was just part of living in an older house. Turns out, I was paying the utility company for air leaking straight out my windows. I'm Becky Lynn, and if that sounds familiar, might be time to replace your windows and doors. Call my friends at Arizona Window and Door Store. Over 1,400 5-star reviews and their exclusive seal and shield installation process. Book your free consultation at azwds.com or call 480-562-3902. Again, book online at azwds.com.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So, looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
Why choose Sanderson Ford? Because for over 70 years, Sanderson has been doing business the right way, putting the customer and our community first, offering online purchasing options, making maintenance a breeze with mobile service and pickup and delivery, prioritizing customer needs and affordability to provide the best deal, plus raising over $1 million annually for local charities. So, when you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, choose no hassle, no pressure, no nonsense. Choose Sanderson Ford.
Sanderson Ford.
Hey, it's Wolf. How crucial will Gabby Moreno be to the success of the Diamondbacks this season? We'll discuss at 10 a.m. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
First of all, that group right there gives me a lot of comfort every single day when I come to work and know that we have those elite players and then some that are still coming that are very dedicated and driven, and they're here. They've been here for, Cattell and Corbin have been here for 3 weeks. So I love knowing they're D-backs. I love knowing that they're here and setting the tone for the rest of the team.
That's Torey Lovello, the manager of the Diamondbacks, yesterday on the day that official reporting day of pitchers and catchers for spring training. And less than 24 hours after that, one of those three members of that group that he just mentioned, Corbin Carroll, who's been in camp for 3 weeks. He's out for a significant amount of time. Steve Gilbert breaking the news earlier today from MLB.com. Carroll suffering a broken hamate bone in his hand. Will miss the World Baseball Classic, and now a timetable for return needs to be determined for Corbin Carroll. But here to talk about it with us, our Diamondbacks insider Alex Weiner, who joins us right now on the Arizona Sports Line. Alex, great news to start spring training, huh?
Yeah, we're off and running, aren't we? We had the Saul Frank injury a couple days ago. Now we got Corbin. It's unbelievable.
In terms of the Carroll injury, and I know you credited Steve Gilbert with it as well on X, do we have any further details? What was this? I mean, we assume it was hit by pitch when you're talking about the hamate bone being broken. Is that what transpired? Do we know?
Not necessarily. You can, break your hamate just swinging the bat. It's
true.
Not a totally uncommon injury in baseball. As we mentioned in the story we have on ArizonaSports.com, Francisco Lindor is dealing with it. Jackson Holliday with the Orioles is dealing with it. It's fairly regular, but yeah, it's just a brutal blow. I guess timing wise, it's better it happens now than a month from now. The timeline is typically about 6-ish weeks, so that would take you about first week of. At the end of March, first week of April. So if you're being optimistic, maybe he won't miss too much time when the regular season starts. Sure. But for spring training, it certainly looks like he's going to be on the mend for that.
Was he in the position where he was already taking live batting practice?
Yeah, a lot of guys have been.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of the spring training started yesterday, but a lot of guys have been here for weeks. Corbin's been here basically throughout the off season, putting in work. So. Just walking around, a bunch of guys were taking live BP, so it wasn't like too out of the ordinary that he was out there hitting.
Okay, but what I'm getting at is there is no clarity on what caused the injury yet.
No, just found out about it, hoping to learn more as we talk to more people and ask more questions.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah, it just seems like it happened in batting practice.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so what's been the general team reaction to this news?
We'll find out. We just left the clubhouse and shortly after found out about the injury. So, it'll be something to ask about. Obviously, he was such a huge part of this team the last few years and going to play such a critical role considering there's so much uncertainty on the roster around kind of the core that they have at the top of the lineup. Maybe, as I mentioned, he doesn't miss too much time and, it becomes a footnote in their season, but it is going to be a difficult schedule to start the year. They start with the Dodgers, they get the Tigers, the Braves, the Mets, and so you want your best guys out there for those games because you're going to have to, hold your own weight at the start of the season as they, get through the early tough schedule and try to, get to a workable place in the summer where they get some guys back and can go on a run.
Alex Weiner, Diamondbacks insider for us at Arizona Sports, joining us here from Salt River Fields on the Arizona Sports Line. In terms of what this does to the the outfield in the current, obviously there was already questions about left field with the lingering injury from last year with Lourdes Gurriel Jr. They traded Jake McCarthy. They traded Blaze Alexander. Right now, Alek Thomas seems to be the guy stamped in center field. But what kind of opportunity does this create, and who are some of the candidates to get some playing time and capitalize on this early on, Alex?
Yeah, certainly looking in hindsight, trading a couple of guys who could have been, potentially starting in the outfield, creates a little bit of a hurdle now. But yeah, as you mentioned, Alek Thomas in center field. I mean, even with him, we had questions offensively and whether or not they needed to add a platoon with him in center. That seems less likely now. But you have, Jordan Lawler taking reps out there. And, yesterday, a few of the outfielders are out there taking fly balls. Jordan Lawler was out there. So he's, in early getting some work in. So he's a prime candidate to get some playing time, whether it's, left field, platooning in center field, or what have you. You've got Tim Tawa, who looked pretty natural defensively out there last year. You got Jorge Barrosa, who's an excellent defensive outfielder who hasn't quite gotten it going offensively in the major leagues yet. And then you can look at some of the non-roster invitees like Ryan Waldschmidt, their top prospect, who hasn't even played AAA ball yet, but they hadn't ruled out the potential for him to make the major league team if he earns it. And this certainly opens the door for that. You got Christian Robinson, who we've known for a long time. He's in major league camp. You got AJ Vukovic. So they have some options, but certainly not a whole lot of experience outside of Alek Thomas.
Are there any reasons to believe, any feelings that a light maybe has gone on for Jordan Lawler, that this might be the year that it all comes together for him?
I think so. I think the last, month or so of the season last year was a nice sign. He's accomplished everything he needed to in the minor leagues. It's just, can you get comfortable and, show the discipline and put yourself in good positions in the major leagues? And we started to see that a little bit more from him in the last month. We didn't get to see the playing time as much as we probably would have liked to, just based on his defensive issues that we saw at third base. But, maybe putting him in the outfield where it's just, a different mentality out there. Just go see ball, go get the ball. Maybe that helps him a little bit. Maybe that helps him offensively too, with one less thing to worry about. I think there were some signs last year to be optimistic about him offensively. It's just kind of finding the right place for him and finding the right matchups for him. So, we'll see. It's going to be a huge opportunity. And if Corbin does miss, the first couple weeks of the season, they're going to really need Jordan Lawler to step up offensively and give them a little bit of a spark.
We're talking with Alex Weiner, our D-backs insider. Before we let you go, Alex, yesterday, a kind of opening of camp, Mike Hazen, Torey Lovello both talked about a couple of spots in the pitching staff, both a starting pitcher, a bullpen guy. Torey made it very clear he wants a closer coming out of spring training. How does this do you think potentially this Corbin Carroll injury could throw a wrench in the roster building plans at this point of Mike Hazen? Do you think he sticks to his guns and looks at pitching?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, even after the Blaze Alexander trade, he made, comments about, potentially finding somebody who could have replaced Blaze as a super utility guy, somebody who could fill in as a backup infielder. But he, left the door open for adding somebody who can get some outfield reps too. So I would still think that they're going to be looking at that, budget-wise, where they're at versus where they want to be. I think it's pretty close. So I'm curious what that'll look like. Obviously, Zach Allen's still out there, and people are asking about, could they bring Zach Allen back, and how would that work? So there's still a lot of moving parts with the roster. Just that's kind of the nature of it when you have as many questions as you do now. This certainly adds one. But if they see this as an injury where they think Corbin can get back within the first, week or two of the regular season, then maybe it's not worth overreacting and, investing in the outfield when you need some more pitching help.
Alex, thanks for the updates. We'll be watching your Twitter account and your X account to see the latest on any more developments with this Corbin Carroll thing. We appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Alex Weiner covers the D-backs for us at Arizona Sports. He joined us on the Arizona Sports line. You can join us April 11th for Pat's Run, presented by Tech Systems. This 4.2-mile run/walk honors Pat Tillman's life as an ASU Sun Devil, Arizona Cardinal, and Army Ranger. You can learn more. Sign up today at patsrun.org. Coming up next, the Wednesday edition of Social Studies. Sammy Sabolka is going to take us through it. And that is coming up here on Bickley and Murata Mornings, Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Join Arizona Sports April 11th in Tempe for the 22nd annual Pats Run, presented by Tech Systems. This 4.2-mile run-walk finishes on the 42-yard line at Mountain America Stadium, home of the ASU Sun Devils. Bring the whole family. Kids can take part in the 0.42-mile Kids Run, presented by Shields and Phoenix Children's Hospital. Honor Pat Tillman's legacy and help support the Tillman scholars who carry it forward. After the run, it's the Tillman Tailgate, presented by Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Enjoy live music, food trucks, and vendor activations outside the stadium. Learn more and sign up today at patsrun.org.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here. And you know what's better than buying a new television for my friends at Waltz TV and Appliance? Buying one and getting one free. And guess what? That is what you can get through the end of March. Purchase any 75-inch Samsung QLED or OLED television or larger. You will get a 43-inch Samsung TV for free. When I bought my live-action television from Waltz, that's exactly what I went for, a Samsung 83-inch OLED television. Fantastic for live action sports, and take advantage of this deal. You get that additional television, an additional 43-inch Samsung for free when you walk out the door. Lots of reasons why you shop at Waltz TV and Appliance. They've got an incredibly knowledgeable staff. They'll give you the insight and the wisdom you'll never get from the big box stores. Great selection, all the major name brands you're looking for. Big screen televisions all the way up to 115 inches. Great selection of outdoor televisions. Great selection of audio components. They'll also price match any price you bring them. They'll give you same-day delivery 7 days a week where you can enjoy a worry-free installation done by a professional. All of that, you get a little added incentive. When you're at Waltz, drop my name, you get 10% off installation or a 3-year warranty for free. You can find Waltz right off the I-10 in Warner, right behind the IKEA. You can find them online at waltz.com. Shop local, shop Waltz.
Hey, it's Wolf, and you've been hearing about the big President's Day sales event at Tim Hovig's Santan Ford, but this weekend there's a whole lot of extra muscle behind it. Landings Credit Union is on site for 4 days only with special low interest rates. Their goal, 100% credit approval. Every vehicle in stock is priced just 1 cent over invoice. It's all happening Friday, February 13th through Monday, February 16th at Tim Hovick's Santan Ford. Head on over to the Santan 202 freeway in Val Vista Drive in Gilbert. A few restrictions do apply.
Low T, start for free. That's right, get prescription testosterone therapy with no startup fee only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Paul Calvisi here. You have more energy, stamina to help you lose belly fat. You also think better, sleep better. Your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. So skip the gimmicks and get prescription strength testosterone. It's a game changer. Book your convenient online appointment today at redmountainweightloss.com. That's redmountainweightloss.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Why are more Arizonans becoming members of Global Credit Union? Dave Burns here, proud member. That's because at Global Credit Union, their members pay low to no fees on their accounts and get a better interest rate than they can at the bank. And as a result, Global members collectively saved $195 million last year. It makes a difference. You can become a member today. Explore the benefits of becoming a member at globalcu.org. Your world of financial possibilities. Free checking and no monthly maintenance fee only apply to core checking accounts. Direct deposit required for early payday. Other fees may apply.
Jewelry Graham. Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Here to remind you that Valentine's Day is Saturday, February the 14th. It's the most romantic day of the year to give and get fine jewelry. We have expertly crafted gifts for every type of sweetheart, any style, any budget. Get creative and design a custom necklace with meaningful charms, including 14-karat gold letters, engravable hearts, and birthstones. For the one, we'll help you propose with a dream engagement ring. Come see our wide selection of hand-picked natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes, in stock and ready to compare side by side. At Shane Company, love is always in the air with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty, everyday competitive prices, and no-pressure shopping experience. Come see us in store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to win Valentine's Day. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, it's Bodie, owner of NewACUnit.com. Look, I know, buying an AC unit online sounds like it's probably going to turn into a mess. People always ask me who's installing it, who's coming to my house, what's the price really going to be. So here it is, as straight as I can shoot it to you. The NewACUnit.com price, that's the price. No upsells, no surprises. People honestly save 50% or more on their brand new air conditioning unit. It works, it's real, it's legit. That's NewACUnit.com.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here with my great friend Shane O'Hanrahan, GM of Chapman BMW, and a new year is a great time for something that's new and exciting. What do we have going on at Chapman BMW in 2026?
You're right, Big. There's never been a better time to buy a brand new BMW at Chapman BMW. Not only do we have a great selection, we have rates from 1.9% financing, the incredible trade values that we can give you right now, and let me help you put your dream into your driveway.
That's Chapman BMW, 2 great locations,
1 great experience.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Live from the Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort Studio.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
I'm Sammy Sepulka with what's trending now, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. The Phoenix Suns avoided a fourth quarter collapse and got a 120-111 win last night against Cooper Flagg and the Dallas Mavericks. Dylan Brooks got things going with 15 first quarter points and led the Suns with 23 in the game. And Phoenix stopped their 2-game losing streak, but they're right back at it tonight as the Oklahoma City Thunder roll into town, and they'll be without the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, tonight. Tip-off will be at 7 right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. And baseball is back in our lives as the Diamondbacks returned to spring training yesterday. But according to Steve Gilbert, outfielder Corbin Carroll suffered a broken hamate bone during a live batting practice session Tuesday and will miss significant time. this spring. The Sun Devils picked up a Big 12 win last night in their 85-76 win over Oklahoma State. Elsewhere tonight in college basketball, GCU hosts New Mexico at 8 as they look to bounce back from their weekend losses. Well, this report is brought to you by Rito's Mexican Food, family-owned since 1977, bringing you award-winning Mexican flavor and a great happy hour every day from 2 to 6. If you're hungry yet, text Rito's to 620-620 for exclusive offers.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Social Studies. Brought to you by Carol Royce, your home sold guaranteed realty.
It's that time of the morning where I jump in, cut off Sammy.
No, all good.
Who was going to introduce himself. But here's Sammy with Social Studies.
Yes, it's 9 o'clock. It's Social Studies. We're at Bickley_Marotta on X, Bickley and Marotta elsewhere, and at Arizona Sports on YouTube. Lots of stuff happening today, including the breaking news of Corbin Carroll breaking his hamate bone, which I...
Literal breaking news.
Literal breaking news. So that came in today. But we've got 3 questions for you guys, and we'll start... Yeah.
Can I update that real quick?
Yes, you may.
There's a couple of other things. Nick Piccolo put out there that he will miss the World Baseball Classic. There is a chance that Corbin Carroll could be ready for opening day. Jeff Passan from ESPN put out there, for those unfamiliar, the hamate bone, which could cause Carroll, Francisco Lindor, and Jackson Holliday to miss opening day. Small hook-shaped bone on the palm just underneath the pinky that is particularly susceptible to breaking. While the recovery is typically 4 to 6 weeks, hitters who undergo the surgery to fix it often talk about how their power takes months to return.
Ooh.
It's not like a soft tissue injury. The return timeline on hamates is fairly straightforward. The time to full health, however, can be longer.
Wow.
Lovely news.
Well, and also, though, the good news is it happened to his non-throwing hand. It happened to his right hand. So,
yes.
The other good news is it couldn't have happened earlier in spring training.
No, it's...
To give him more of a runway.
Well, if he's been there 3 weeks, it could have happened.
Okay, well, that's fair.
Right.
But,
Right. And listen, when I asked Alex what's interesting about this to me is live batting practice in spring training, it can mean a couple of different things. What I was curious of is whether or not it was from a pitcher who has recently reported to camp. Because generally pitchers who report to training camp, they don't have their control. They don't have their stuff dialed in yet. Yeah. And that's the danger of it.
Yeah.
So if it's against somebody who's been throwing BP to Corbin Carroll, that's something entirely different. And I'm guessing that's probably what it was.
Yeah, so unfortunate news nonetheless. But we got 3 questions. We'll keep it casual today. So who is most likely to be the, quote, next Sam Darnold? We talked a little bit about maybe Malik Willis, Mac Jones, Tua, or Kyler.
Nick, if there's a next Sam Darnold story, I don't think it's going to happen in 2026. It might happen in 2048. So I'm not voting for any of those guys.
Okay.
I think it diminishes what Sam Darnold has accomplished.
If Daniel Jones comes back next year and continues the year that he was putting forth in progress last year, does that qualify?
I'd say so, yes.
Because injury is what derailed him last year. I think Daniel Jones is a candidate then. I think McCorkle Jones is a candidate. He looked fantastic.
Yeah, and that's what Tony Height says. Mac Jones is the more experienced player and now an alumni of Shanahan University with the 49ers, place heavily credited for Darnold's massive career leap. Okay.
But if that happens, I don't think it'll be this year with Mac Jones
because
they're not trading him.
Right, they're keeping him. Okay, so...
Unless that's a bargaining ploy.
Yes.
Yeah, well, listen, if they end up keeping him, then you're right. Then it won't be Mac Jones. But
yeah.
And so we've talked a little bit about this, but Dylan Brooks, the Dylan Brooks experience, in 3 words or less, how would you describe it?
Ooh. Frustrating, yet rewarding.
Nice, okay.
Is that 3?
Yeah, there you go.
Compelling.
Just needs 1 then. Yeah? Okay.
He's certainly compelling.
Yes.
By the way, 15 technicals again.
Do we think this one might get rescinded? Or
I don't know. I mean, he called it soft.
Yeah.
Jordan Ott said there was no explanation for it. They've already rescinded 2 at number 15, pretty much.
This one might stand. Some pretty good responses. Chris Lewis said in a triumphant voice, yes. A disappointed voice, Dylan. A pleading voice, pass. Jordan Kuda said absolute cinema. Stephen Ruiz said, Dylan's great, but ... Jonesy said, you never know. And then none y'all said, no, yes. He's the definition of a no, yes guy.
Oh, I found myself late in the game. The last shot he hit.
That's a good point.
He hit a tough baseline jumper that kind of stemmed the tide a little bit. But before that shot went up, I was thinking, oh, no.
Yes, I know exactly what shot you're talking about, and he is an absolute no, yes guy. Okay, so lastly, real quick, we have a couple good responses. We're talking about El Paso this morning, and so we wanted to know, what is your hometown known for and why? And what is that hometown?
My hometown is Dalton, Illinois, now home to Pope Leo.
Hey!
That's
pretty good. Recent.
That's a good one.
Never heard of him, Bickley. I mean, my hometown is... I was born in a different place, but I don't consider Queens, New York, my hometown.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up on the rough streets of Northwest Phoenix.
Andy Greenberg, he's from Kirkland, Washington. They're known for Costco, obviously. Andy Bryant, my hometown is Tucson, known for college basketball and great Mexican food, which, yes, shout out the great Mexican food. It's fantastic. Nikki said he's from New Glarus, Wisconsin.
I know what he's going to say.
Yep, the Spotted Cow beer.
Spotted Cow beer.
It's phenomenal. It's
good.
It's good.
I think
it's told me, like, oh, it's going to change your life. It's good.
What's the word that you use? It's crushable.
That it is.
And I think the appeal to it is that they only make it there, so you can only drink it and bring it back there.
That's true.
Vinny and I had plenty of it in Milwaukee.
And then lastly, this is an underrated city then. Buddy Thompson said Louisville. Louisville. Most famous, obviously, for the Kentucky Derby, also known for the University of Louisville. The hometown of Muhammad Ali, the Louisville Slugger baseball bat, and then the disputed birthplace of the cheeseburger.
Really? That's a claim to fame right there.
Yes. Louisville.
Although the burger existed in one town, just said, hey, we're throwing cheese on this bad boy.
Oh, we invented it.
Hey, some would say
Do you know how many Mexican restaurants have claimed they've invented the chimichanga by dropping a burrito in the fryer?
Pretty much all of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
But and he also said the birthplace of rolled oysters in Louisville as well. So there you guys go. Social studies at Bickley_Murata, at Bickley and Murata, and at Arizona Sports on YouTube.
Very good. Thank you, Sammy. Coming up next, we will talk to the head coach of GCU Lopes basketball on game day. Bryce Drew scheduled to join us next. Bickley and Murata mornings on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Phoenix Suns basketball.
Mark grabbing his 8th board to go with his 13 points. Here's Gillespie dribbling it into the forecourt. And the Suns win tonight. 120-111 the final score. They knock off the Mavericks and send them to their 8th consecutive loss. And they end their own 2-game losing streak to go back 10 games above 500 at 32-22.
Reaction to a Suns home win on the way, plus a preview of Suns Thunder. Arizona Sports on YouTube, the app, ArizonaSports.com, and 98.7.
All right, let's talk about something a lot of people deal with, but nobody wants to talk about, nobody wants to admit it, and that is struggling with private student loan debt. When you are struggling with it, it feels like a weight that you're dragging around everywhere you go. But if that's your situation, you don't have to keep dragging that weight thanks to YRefi. Hi, it's Vince Murata, and YRefi works specifically with people who are struggling with distressed or defaulted private student loan debt. YRefi helps you refinance into a low fixed rate payment that fits your actual budget, not a fantasy one, your actual real one. And they do it without judgment. They're not going to question or lecture you. They're just here to help you start fresh. I've talked to people and known people who have been in this situation before, felt like they had no options left, and then YRefi steps in and gives them a real path forward. And when you're going through that situation, there's something very powerful about knowing someone is actually willing to work with you. You can't change what happened, but you can absolutely change what happens next with your private student loan debt. Call YRefi at 888-YRefi-85 or visit YRefi.com. That's the letter Y, REFY.com.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln. by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Got a stubborn clog slowing things down? Introducing Parker & Son's $89 drain clearing special. If you've got a ground level, easy access drain, Parker & Son's plumbers will clear it for just $89. Plus, you'll get a free camera inspection and free standard water heater maintenance. That's today's clog gone and future problems prevented. Call Parker & Sons at 602-2-REPAIR. That's 602, the number 2, then REPAIR for Parker & Sons. Standard water heaters only, no tankless.
Hey, it's Gambo. If you've got a mortgage in the last 3 years, listen up. Mortgage rates have dropped, and now could be a great time to refinance and put money back in your pocket. My friends at Lund Mortgage track rates daily to help you act fast and save. Just email RateWatch@lundmortgage.com, and they'll alert you when it's the right time. Skip the mailers and robocalls. Lund Mortgage gives you the full picture so you can make a smart decision. Email RateWatch@lundmortgage.com and start saving.
You applied to Grand Canyon University because you want somewhere fun and affordable, where hands-on classes and access to industry pros can help you build skills employers need, with the opportunity to graduate in less than 4 years. You want to feel seen, loved, called to more, to know you found your purpose. Make yourself the main character. Begin your story. Find your purpose at GCU. Visit gcu.edu.
Arizona Sports. Bickley and Marotta talk Grand Canyon University men's hoops with the head coach. This is the Bryce Drew Show, presented by Global Credit Union. Proud to be GCU's official financial partner and the only place to get your official Lopes debit card.
Game day for the Lopes. Tonight they will host New Mexico. Second time around, they're seeing the New Mexico Lobos. And here to talk about that and recap what's going on with GCU Lopes basketball. Joining us via the Arizona Sports Line today, Bryce Drew, the head coach of GCU, our guest on the Arizona Sports Line. Bryce, good morning. How are you?
Hi, ready for a game tonight. So the late one, 8 o'clock. I wish it was sooner, but we're excited, ready to go.
Yeah, let's go back to what happened over the weekend. It was a game I was unable to watch against UNLV, but I was following because I was at the Suns Arena getting ready for their game. And watching that score melt away, I think it was like a 13-point lead with 3.5 minutes to go. Not where you want to be. Got it down to 2. What did you like about that comeback attempt, even though it fell short? And what didn't you like about digging the hole to get in that situation, Bryce?
Definitely wasn't pleased with how we played. Last 4 minutes, it's like we turned a switch on and played with way more urgency. We actually had our hands on the ball with a steal with 20 left that we could have, made a 3 and tied it. But lost by 2, and just good teams. I think that the thing that hurt us the most was the physicality. It was an extremely physical game, and risen to the challenge. In some other games, we didn't rise to the challenge enough with the physicality, and that's what hurt us.
And Bryce, it seems like this is a recurring theme so far this season. There have been many little stops along this journey where you've had to remind your team, step up the physicality, fight through screens, make your presence felt, don't get pushed around in the paint. You think they got the lesson this time?
Yeah, we sure hope so. And, we've played really physical. You've seen our games at home. Utah, Diego State, Boise State. And so we've shown we can do it. Obviously the consistency, you go on the road against a team that's, really, really urgent. And, you have to be willing to give hits, get teams. And, we didn't do enough of that on Saturday.
Speaking of individual players in that game against UNLV, Nana had a really good game, 38 minutes, 6 of 9 from the floor, 19 points. Was a factor defensively with 4 steals as well. He's recently had a game with 4 block shots. And I know he's an experienced player with his Ivy League experience, but it seems like, and I'm looking at his game log, and it's been rather consistent, but it seems like he's hitting a really good spot down the stretch here. Would you agree, Coach? Apparently not.
I think we lost Bryce.
Yeah, I think we
try to reconnect, Jared, if you don't mind.
Shaky connection.
Yeah, listen, and so they've had another loss like that this year where they've gotten behind and they've rallied furiously, and there have been a couple of plays at the end of these games where they knock a ball loose and the ball is loose, and if they can just recover the possession, they got to and it just hasn't broken their way. They're a team that at times has looked very, very formidable. As he mentioned, some of the victories, they've got a few marquee victories, but this physicality thing is an issue. I said this on one of the broadcasts. It's like you're riding with your buddy in a car and a Led Zeppelin song comes on. Every now and again, you got to remind your friend to turn it up. Come on now, this is no ordinary song. Turn it up. And that's kind of the way he's had to do. He's had to remind this team to turn up the physicality on more than one occasion so far.
Yeah, I didn't think we would hear a comparison to a college basketball team being a Led Zeppelin song, but it makes perfect sense.
You'll love this because I brought this up to Darren Sutton, and his first reaction was, well, I'm more of a Depeche Mode kind of guy. And I'm like, yeah, well, you and Vinny both. So
Darren.
There you go.
Darren's cool.
There you go. I knew you'd enjoy that.
Real quick before we reconnect with Bryce. Last night I was walking back to my car on the top of the parking garage at the Suns game.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody rolled down their window and was like, Vinny, thought you got screwed on Mustache this morning. And I said, nope, that's on me. I'll wear that L.
Oh,
I
okay.
have to know Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
That's my responsibility.
Yeah, that's funny. That's pretty good. So with GCU tonight, this is a grudge match, if you will. This is a team that beat them the last time they played a game that kind of looks like a blowout on paper. It was not.
Yeah,
it was tied up 40-all at one point in time. That was the game in which Bryce Drew was ejected, which never happens. And if you know Bryce Drew, he's very gracious and he's very even-keeled, doesn't swear, and a lot of people thought that is just garbage, man.
Yeah, we've been able to reconnect with Bryce. Bryce, I don't know how much of if any, of the last question you heard was, but I was asking about Nana having a really big game at UNLV, and he's an experienced player, but it seems like he's hitting a good spot down the stretch. Would you agree? We don't have Bryce Drew. Couldn't get him on video.
All right.
Can't get him on the phone.
Some things are just not meant to be.
Some things are not meant to be.
So this is a rematch game tonight for the Lopes against New Mexico in the Mountain West. It's been a weird year it's been a weird year in college basketball in general. But the Mountain West, there's been a lot of shape shifting that's gone on in this conference so far. And it'll be curious to see how this whole thing shakes out.
Yeah, and I'm also curious to see, because you mentioned previous game against New Mexico, it does look like a rout on paper, 23-point New Mexico win in Albuquerque. But everybody that's left on GCU's schedule, this is one of those true conferences where you're seeing everybody twice. They've already seen all these teams.
No, they're not. No. That's not accurate.
Okay. So,
there's imbalanced scheduling in this conference, and there's a team like Nevada who they only played once.
Okay, but everybody that's left on the schedule, they have played before.
Yes, I believe so, yes.
So I'm curious to see what because they've had success. I mean, they beat Wyoming in their conference opener at their place in Laramie. How much has that team changed? We talked to Bryce recently about seeing Boise State for a second time. He said they're a completely different team. They handled them twice in two different forms.
Yeah.
So I'm real curious to see what that looks like for GCU, and it'd be a nice feather, especially coming their last two losses. The Nevada loss that was marked by the foul at the end of regulation that cost them, and then falling short by 2 after a just completely furious comeback in Vegas. I think they're gonna. I think they're going to acquit themselves nicely tonight against New Mexico.
Yeah, and in between those two bookmarks that you mentioned was a team that rebounded very, very nicely from a real bad dose of heartbreak. Like you said, the fouling the three-point shooter, that was the kind of loss that can stick with the program for weeks.
Yep.
So
we appreciate the effort of Bryce to connect with us today on game day. Technology would not play ball with us.
I'm sure it's Jared's fault on some level.
Shut up, Jared.
Shut up, Jared.
You haven't heard one of those in a while.
Well, don't you think it's got to be his fault, right?
I mean, most things are. 8 o'clock tip at Global Credit Union Arena tonight. Coming up next, we'll roll out this week's edition of Mock My World. It's Bickley and Murata Mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
The Bryce Drew Show, presented by Global Credit Union. Proud to be GCU's official financial partner and the only place to get your official Lopes debit card. Bickley and Murata Mornings. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Here's what's different about GCU. It's one of the country's biggest universities with over 360 programs shaped by industry leaders. GCU's campus ranks among the top in the nation. Most of all, GCU cares about affordability. The average federal and private loan debt for GCU undergrads is lower than the average for private nonprofit four-year universities. Find your purpose at GCU. Visit gcu.edu.
Season 2 of Unrivaled is here, and the energy is unreal. Hey, it's Vince Murata, and yes, the best women's players on the planet, running it back with even bigger moments and bigger stakes in year 2. Don't miss the action as Satu Sabali, Kalia Copper, Paige Beckers, Nafisa Collier, and many more take the court and redefine the game. Unrivaled, if you're unfamiliar, features an innovative 3-on-3 style that keeps the game moving with constant action and highlight plays. Unrivaled is built for the players. The WNBA's best playing here on American soil in their offseason instead of having to go overseas. And Season 2 of Unrivaled will feature higher stakes, expanded teams, and even more star power. Every matchup, every highlight, every moment that makes you jump out of your seat is all back, bigger than ever. This is not your regular season. This is Unrivaled. Games air on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max, so it's easy to watch wherever you are. And on the schedule, starting tonight, round 1 of a one-on-one tournament, 12 matchups on True TV starting tonight, including some of the biggest names in the game. Brianna Stewart's in action, as is Aaliyah Boston, De'Erica Hamby, Jackie Young, and a lot more. That one-on-one tournament gets underway tonight on True TV. Unrivaled, where pace is faster, the energy is higher, and every athlete shines.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with AutoPay, plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Is your home ready for the chill? Don't let winter sneak up on you. Right now, Collins Comfort Masters, your trusted Lennox dealer with nearly 11,000 5-star reviews, is offering a $49 heating tune-up to keep your system running smoothly and your family cozy. So why wait? Experience comfort with Collins Comfort Masters, your trusted no-worry solution for all of your air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and water filtration needs. Schedule an appointment by calling 480-NO-WORRY or go to collinscomfort.com.
Hey, it's Gambo. By February, most men notice the same thing. They're still working, still active, but the body isn't responding the same way. Energy isn't as steady, metabolism doesn't cooperate. That's frustrating because the effort didn't change. For men over 40, that's not a discipline problem, that's biology. Your body changes. That's why M-Drive exists. M-Drive builds supplements specifically for men based on how male biology actually changes. No hype, no shortcuts, no loud promises. Their lead product is Boost and Burn, designed for everyday use. It supports steady energy and metabolism without spikes or crashes. This isn't about pushing harder or starting over. It's about supporting the work you're already doing. M-Drive is the #1 men's health brand at Sprouts, and it's also available on Amazon. Or right now, get 20% off your first purchase at mdriveformen.com when you use the promo code GAMBO.
I'm Sammy Sepulka with What's Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. The Phoenix Suns held off a late-game scare to get a 120-111 win over Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks. Here's Devin Booker on what went right early and wrong late.
I'd say just getting stops, playing fast, and getting a lot of threes up. Second half, they're getting to the free throw line a lot, getting out in transition, and drawing a lot of fouls.
The Suns are right back at it tonight against the NBA's best Oklahoma City Thunder, who recently got Jalen Williams back and healthy, but will be missing SGA tonight as Suns Thunder tip off at 7 in the last game before the All-Star break, and you can hear that right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. According to Steve Gilbert, outfielder Corbin Carroll suffered a broken hamate bone during a live batting practice session on Tuesday and will miss significant time this spring. The Sun Devils picked up a much-needed win at home last night, 85-76 over Oklahoma State, and the Lopes of GCU are in action tonight against New Mexico. That game will tip off at 8. This report is brought to you by Earnhardt Auto Centers. Help kids get in the game. Drop off new or used sports gear at any Earnhardt dealership or donate online. Text GEAR to 620-620 to learn more.
Time to take a look at the Arizona Sports Poll Question. Brought to you by Sanderson Ford. The best play is at Sanderson Ford.
All right, today's Arizona Sports Poll Question brought to you by Sanderson Ford is which Diamondbacks storyline are you following most here in spring training? I'd imagine the vote will change now, but the state of the bullpen, injured players timeline, Ketel Marte not going anywhere, or new defensive approach in spring training.
Yeah, it was A, it's now B. It was the bullpen,
Yep.
It's now, okay, what's up with Corbin Carroll? Who's going to replace him? When's he getting back? What does it all mean?
Yep.
I would agree.
So 61% of the vote is the state of the bullpen. I think this poll question being up the rest of the day, we'll see some difference in those percentages. But 24% to injured players timeline.
All right, that is today's Sanderson Ford poll question. You can vote on it on the homepage at arizonasports.com.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Bickley and Marotta mornings.
You're going to go to the hardware store.
Handing out the hardware.
All this hardware.
Why are we playing the hardware open?
Didn't we do that on Monday?
Oh, hardware. What the hell's wrong with me?
You got 10 minutes?
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Mock-ups are the bane of my existence, guys.
If you cut me open, mock drafts would pour out.
Bickley and Marotta, mock my world.
Going back to last segment, yes, to answer your question, the Bryce Drew interview was Jarrett Carlin's fault.
All I know is Bryce kept texting me, I've got full bars on my phone. I don't know what the problem is. Must be you.
He was saying your fault too.
Yeah.
I think
but he's too nice. He's too nice to come out and say it.
I think he'll be
Vinny
here.
and I, on the other hand,
I think he'll be here in person next week. So
yeah,
won't have to worry about
Newsmakers Week coming up next week. Last week on Mock My World, we went down the flowery names in sports and pop culture for songs, titles, people places, and it was a tour de force for Sammy Cebulka, who ran away with it with the number 1 pick, took Guns N' Roses, and then followed it up with the Wrigley Field Ivy, which I don't think necessarily fell into the category, but Madison Square Garden and the Rose Bowl, 48.9% of the vote, not close. Jarrett, a very distant second place, 17.6%. Bick, you were right at 17%. And my slump continues on Mock My World, 16.5%.
Wow.
So in reverse order, as we do the draft, when we've got carryover with all 4 competitors, I will get the first pick this week. We're going down a different category. We're going names again, but best stars stage names. This could get interesting. I've got the first pick. Bick, you go second. Jarrett third. Sammy fourth. 4-round snake-style draft. I'm hungry, so I am picking the stage name with the first overall pick of Marvin Lee Aday, who we all knew better as Meatloaf.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mr. Loaf, as he's known in the New York Times.
Mr. Loaf.
No, nothing wrong with a good meatloaf, right?
Oh, I do. I love a good meatloaf.
Oh, it's so good.
All right, I'm going to go with my friend and Valley legend, Vince Fournier, otherwise known as Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper.
On my list as well.
All right. I'm going with a name that just symbolizes sexiness now, but not her real name, Marilyn Monroe.
Dang it.
Yeah, I let my hunger take over. That was going to be my number 1 overall pick.
All right, I have 2 picks here. I'm going to go...
You should have been thirsty when you were hungry.
Okay, my first pick, the lead singer of Queen, Freddie Mercury.
Excellent. Cool name. Cool.
Yes.
What was his real name?
Farouk
Bulsara.
That's right. That's right.
And then I'll go with Jay-Z.
Okay.
I don't know his real name, but
Sean Carter or something?
Yeah, Sean Carter is it.
Okay.
Appears frequently in a certain
yes,
email.
Sean Corey Carter. Jay-Z.
I'm going with the guitar player for Guns N' Roses who picked one of the coolest rock and roll names, Slash.
Do you know his real name?
Something
I do.
Jewish, right?
Saul Hudson.
Saul Hudson.
Okay.
All right. Vic, back to you.
Oh, it's back to me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me Marshall Mathers, otherwise known as Eminem.
Yeah. Dang it. Some good ones out there.
That's a really good one because it's Marshall Mathers.
Exactly.
M and M.
Right. It
but it's
actually
also
kind of fits. Yeah, there's a dual meaning to it.
That is a good one.
All right, Vinny, 2.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the one name thing again. I'm going with, she's still doing it, by the way. Just recently was the musical guest on Saturday Night Live. I'm going with Cher.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a good one.
And who doesn't love Cher?
Cher's probably got...
I had Cher on my list, absolutely.
Yeah.
And,
Is there best celebrity stage names?
as we determined that Neil Diamond is not a
That's
stage
his real name.
Unbelievable.
Wow, isn't that something?
I'm going to go with... Man, I'm going to go with Tom Cruise.
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah, Thomas Maypother the Fourth. Thomas Cruise Maypother the Fourth.
Wow.
Oh, so that's just his first and middle name.
But his stage name is Tom
I
Cruise.
guess so. Okay. I'm going to... My turn, right? No,
No, it'd be
Dan's
Dan's
turn. I'm sorry. Yeah, Dan's turn.
I am going to go with America's friend, Calvin Broadus, otherwise known as Snoop Dogg. A young Snoop Dogg.
He looks like a young Snoop Dogg.
That was my next pick. Good pick, Vic.
Well done, Vinny.
Snoop Doggy, Snoop Doggy, Snoop Doggy, dog. All right, I am going to...
He looks like a young Snoop Dogg.
I am going with... If you're going to be an action star, can you find a cooler name than Vin Diesel?
Yeah. It's a good one.
I always thought that was a cheesy stage name.
Really?
Yes.
Well, he's a cheesy guy.
Speaking of action stars.
Mark Vincent, I believe, is his real name.
This one, The Rock.
Oh, that's great.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne. Not the coolest name.
And then I will go with same last name, but John Michael Osborne, also known as Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne. Look at you flexing the musical knowledge.
Yeah.
With Freddie Mercury and Ozzy Osbourne on the same team.
Mm-hmm. How about it? Jarrett?
All right. I need a ruling. I don't think this was his birth name.
I'll look.
Old Dirty Bastard.
Oh, gosh. Old Dirty Bastard.
ODB. I'm pretty certain
His
that's
name
not on his
is
birth certificate.
Russell
Okay.
Tyron Jones.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome. Wow.
All right, Bick, you got your final pick.
I'm going to have to go with one of the original stage names from the Beatles, Richard Starkey, otherwise known as Ringo Starr.
When you took the one that I had all lined up and ready to go.
Ever heard of him, Sammy? Ringo?
No.
Okay.
Wrapping up, Vince.
All
I'm
right,
going to
last
go with a musical legend. And I've never heard this until I just saw what his real name is. Stevie Wonder. Anybody know his real name?
Oh, no.
Yeah. It was
Devlin Hardaway
That's it.
Judkins.
Stevland. I knew
I've never
It's not
heard
even
that before.
Steven. It's Stevland.
Stevland Hardaway Junkins.
That doesn't roll off the
Judkins.
tongue around a marquee. Stevie Wonder is a cool name. Missed a lot. Lady Gaga.
Elton John.
Yeah.
Sting.
Here comes the dump, folks.
Ice Cube.
Everybody shows how much they know.
Ice-T.
I was dying to pick Liberace.
Marky Mark.
So we were
Johnny
just...
Rotten.
Gene Simmons from Kiss, by the way, is a stage name.
His name is like
Chaim.
Chaim Schmimowitz or something like that.
Witz.
Oh, I realized I just passed up on one of my. I think Johnny Knoxville is just such a cool
That's
name.
a cool one.
Yeah.
John Wayne.
Johnny Rotten.
See, now Mark Twain is near and dear to me because that's one of the original author pseudonyms.
Samuel
Clemens.
Yep. Lots
Sid
of good
Vicious.
options there.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. All right, we got our stage names picked. I went with Meatloaf, Cher, Tom Cruise, and Stevie Wonder. Bick's got Alice Cooper, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, and Ringo Starr. Jarrett went with Marilyn Monroe / Vin Diesel and ODB. You have the most diverse team, I think, Jarrett. And Sammy went with Freddie Mercury, Jay-Z, The Rock, and Ozzy Osbourne. You vote, you determine the winners, and of course, let us know about the millions that we missed on social media, epically_Murata. It's Mock My World. We do it every Wednesday. Some final thoughts to wrap up today's show. Coming up next, but I want to remind you as well that as a thank you for your support of Arizona Sports 98.7 and Sun Devil Athletics, we're inviting you to the men's basketball games on February 17th versus Texas Tech and February 28th against Utah. Use the code 987 to unlock the exclusive discount. Head on over to the contest page at arizonasports.com for all the info. Final thoughts next. It's Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
This is Gene Simmons from KISS.
The cardinal decision on a head coach has been made. As Coach LaFleur puts his staff together, the next cardinal decision is coming due.
Now, when you talk about Kyler just in general, he's a problem. He's been a good player in this league, and again, look forward to getting up there with Monty and having conversations about all these guys.
What's next for Kyler Murray as Cardinals QB1?
What happens to Kyler Murray?
Keep up with the next cardinal decision at Arizona Sports on YouTube, the Arizona Sports app, arizonasports.com, and 98.7.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here for Trajan Wealth, and no two retirement plans are the same. They're like snowflakes, and when you imagine retirement, what do you see? Beaches, drinks that come with umbrellas, hundreds of rounds of golf, world travel, or are you like most people? Are you consumed with a little bit of anxiety, worried you will not have enough money to do all the things you want to do? If you are not 100% confident that your current plan is going to pay off at the end, highly recommend you set up a free appointment at Trajan Wealth. Get a second opinion on your existing portfolio or portfolios. Get a game plan that's going to assure you're making the right financial moves for your future. Remember, Trajan Wealth is veteran-owned. Jeff Jr., a Marine. They're locally operated. They're fiduciaries, which means they're legally or duty-bound to act in your best interest at all times. They're not beholden to certain products or portfolios, which means they can offer you a multitude of options. Plus, they have hearts of teachers. When I met with Trajan Wealth, I came away super impressed at their approach. No pressure, just honest talk, no confusing jargon. And when you meet with them, you'll see it all begins with relationships, customized strategies, personalized plans based on what you want from retirement. At Trajan Wealth, your future is their priority. Call today. Get your plan started. 480-360-7900. Online at TrajanWealth.com. TRAJAN Wealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, SEC registered investment advisor, client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, sports fans, Wolf here. You know I've taken a few hits over the years, but back pain, that's been my toughest opponent. Luckily, I found the right coaches, the spine surgeons from Desert Institute for Spine Care. Dr. Joshua Abrams, great to have you.
Thanks, Wolf. Whether you're an athlete or just trying to stay active, you don't have to live with spine pain. I specialize in minimally invasive surgery, artificial disc replacement, which makes smaller incisions, less pain, and faster recovery, so you can get back to what you love.
That's what I'm talking about. Less downtime, more game time. And you even help develop technology surgeons use around the world, right?
That's right. I've worked with the largest orthopedic company in the world to create tools that make spine surgery safer and more precise.
You heard the doc. Don't sit on the sidelines with back or neck pain. Visit sciatica.com. or text SPINE to 620-620 to connect with Dr. Abrams and the team at Desert Institute for Spine Care.
Message and data rates may apply. Dave Burns here with Liberty GMC General Manager Chris Scott. Chris, President's Day is a big deal, especially in truck country.
No doubt, Dave. During our President's Day truck event, get up to $12,250 off in savings on the all-new 2026 Sierra 1500, or take advantage of 0% financing. Plus, score $5,500 off the all-new 2026 Sierra HD, or lease a 2026 Canyon for just $299 a month. Our lot is loaded, and now's the perfect time to buy.
Visit Liberty GMC in Peoria or shop online all the time. GMCAZ.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Got a stubborn clog slowing things down? Introducing Parker & Son's $89 drain clearing special. If you've got a ground level, easy access drain, Parker & Son's plumbers will clear it for just $89. Plus, you'll get a free camera inspection and free standard water heater maintenance. That's today's clog gone and future problems prevented. Call Parker & Sons at 602-2-REPAIR. That's 602, the number 2, then REPAIR for Parker & Sons. Standard water heaters only, no tankless.
Hey, it's Mike Broomhead. You've seen the Sweet James billboards, but here's what you need to know about them. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, Sweet James Accident Attorneys is a team you want on your side. With just over 25 years experience, 500-plus trials, and a win rate of 98% of the time, you need Sweet James in your corner. They've even been named the best attorneys in America. SweetJames.com or 800-9-million, 800-900-0000.
There's nothing like it. The rush when the band plays, the roar when the Sun Devils take the court, the energy that shakes the building and pulls you to your feet. This is Sun Devil men's basketball, where every night brings the sound of something electric, something unpredictable, something you have to feel to believe. From the first tip to the final buzzer, Sun Devil Hoops is where passion lives. Be a part of it. Bring the noise, and let's light up Desert Financial Arena together. Get your seats now at sundeviltickets.com.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Bickley and Murata, Song of the Day.
I was told a million times of all the troubles in my way. Might you grow a little wiser, a little better every day. But if I crossed a million rivers and I rode a million miles, then I'd still be where I started, bread and butter for a smile. And I sold a million mirrors.
Early in the discography of Queen.
Yep.
I think in the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, which took a lot of liberties with the timetable and whatnot. But I think this was like the first song that they performed live as a band in the movie anyway.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
That's right, it is. I can remember the scene. Farouk Bulsara.
Good move, Fred. Good move to change that name. Keep Yourself Alive by Queen. Today's song of the day.
Bickley and Murata going off the grid. Brought to you by Sweet James Accident Attorneys. If you've been hurt in an accident, call Sweet James at 800-500-5200 or sweetjames.com.
Of course, the big news of the morning that broke during our show today, and that was the unfortunate news about Corbin Carroll. Suffered a broken hamate bone, right hand, his non-throwing hand, but he will have a procedure, surgery done today. There was Nick Picoro from AZ Central put out a chance that Corbin Carroll could be back for opening day. And a grinder like Corbin Carroll, you know he's going to try to get back as soon as possible. The harrowing part about that, Bick, is what Jeff Passan put out there. We just saw a power increase from Corbin Carroll last year, 30-plus home runs. We wondered if he could get to that mark. He did. Seems like the benchmark now. But if it's going to take time, as a lot of these injuries have, for the power to return, that could be concerning for the defense.
And more to the point, you hate to see an athlete like Corbin Carroll getting I won't say penalized, but getting victimized for his work ethic. He doesn't even have to be there yet. He's a position player.
It's like the line from Clerks. I'm not even supposed to be here today.
That's it. He isn't supposed to be here today.
Corbin Carroll could have went on the roof and played hockey with his friends yesterday.
That's
he showed up to work.
That's it.
Like a paraphrase of the quote from the movie Friday. How are you going to get hurt on your day off?
It's that one's deflating. That one's deflating. It happens to Andrew Self, Frank, before the start of the season. You can adjust. You can go and try to find a relief pitcher who's going to take care of his niche role in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Corbin Carroll is obviously a different kettle of fish.
He's kind of the, to steal the Reggie Jackson phrase, he's kind of the straw that stirs the drink.
He's a different kettle of Marte.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw this story. On the list of food items for baseball stadiums is coming out. The list of giveaway items is coming out. The Texas Rangers on May 29th are going to play the Kansas City Royals. They might be giving away the coolest giveaway of all time. It is a Ranger replica jersey from the 90s, but it has the blood stains on it from Nolan Ryan after his... remember when he got hit in the face?
Of course I do.
And was pitching with just the
blood
streaming
dripping
out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And the blood stains actually match the photos from the 90s. That's
badass.
Really, really cool giveaway.
I don't know if there has ever been an athlete. Listen, we have athletes that have repped Arizona very, very well. Has there ever been an athlete that better repped the way a place wants to feel about itself than Nolan Ryan in the state of Texas?
Yeah, because he did it for both teams.
The whole don't mess with Texas. Yeah, exactly. And then there's that. Did it for the Astros and the Rangers.
And then they named the Round Rock Express, named after Nolan Ryan. I think I remember that correctly.
I think you were here. Maybe you weren't here this day when I talked about this. The Baltimore Orioles are having a Tupac Shakur bobblehead giveaway. I want one of those things in the worst way. It looks awesome.
I did not. I probably wasn't here that day.
Yeah, Tupac Shakur, he's from Baltimore originally. So they're actually having a Tupac bobblehead giveaway.
I like when they get creative with the bobbleheads, but not too much. Like there was... I'm not shaming the player here when I say this. When Jake Lamb played for the Diamondbacks, they did a bobblehead where he posed with like a little baby lamb.
Like a shepherd.
I remember that.
It was bad.
And you know what it is? And it's like bobbleheads are hit or miss. You know, like the NBA's a make or miss league? Bobbleheads are a make or miss league. Some of them look really good, and others you're like, that doesn't look anything like you. That looks like the statue of Dwayne Wade.
The Big 12 announced today that at its men's and women's basketball tournaments, which will be held in Kansas City, to see what they're doing with the floor, they're going full use of the LED floors.
Really?
To be able to change logos and appearance of the floor. I believe it's the first time anybody's doing that with any consequence. They did it a couple years ago in the celebrity game at NBA All-Star Weekend.
Okay.
And it was a really hard watch because of the colors they used.
Mm-hmm.
This one, they're doing it. I'm not sure a conference tournament is the best use for that. I could see NBA teams with all their different looks and all their different uniforms being the ones to really innovate the LED floor, because you can change it at the sponsors. You can change anything at the press of a button. Like when the Suns just played in Portland, and Portland wore their City Edition uniforms, which are patterned after the airport rug. Whatever. But they're black and like a turquoise color.
Okay.
They haven't invested in the City Edition floor, so they play on their other floor, so the colors don't match. It's stupid.
Okay.
That would make that a lot easier. And the NBA floors for the in-season tournament that get used twice and thrown away.
And are real slippery and are a danger.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if...
That's interesting.
Move the Big 12 tournament to Vegas.
Yes, please.
They can't. They got to keep... With everything that's changed, they have to hold on to their Kansas City Midwest roots.
Famous Big 12 school home, Kansas City.
Yeah, right?
Well, you do have 2 Big 12 schools nearby. At least.
Not in the city. Vegas.
They're nearby. Thanks to Alex Weiner, Bryce Drew, Mark Schlereth for joining us. Thanks to you for hanging out as well. We're back tomorrow morning at 6. Wolf and Luke are up next here on Arizona Sports. Have a great day, everybody.
Here are the top 3 headlines on ArizonaSports.com. I'm Tyler Drake. Diamondbacks' Corbin Carroll suffers broken hamate bone and will miss significant time. Suns avoid meltdown and hold on for a win over the Mavericks. And Santiago Truitt takes rebounding personally in ASU's win over Oklahoma State. Those are your top 3 headlines on ArizonaSports.com.
Looking for quality windows without the wait? Come to the Window Depot. We carry a huge selection of Milgard windows, in stock now and ready for pickup. Need something custom? No problem. From new construction to full home replacement, we'll help you order the perfect Milgard windows built to fit your space, style, and budget. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the Window Depot makes it easy to get the windows you need fast. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you and see why we're your Milgard window experts.
Hey, it's Flo here to say drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
Nice. With my new